Yo, we're getting the live back up. Sorry about earlier if you guys were in here. The stream died. Had some technical issues, but we're back, right? So you guys, we're going to have a nice little commentary party. So you know what I'm saying? It's UFC 300. It's your boy Ron Goodall, and we're just getting this stuff started. So you guys are just chilling at the crib, watching some fights. Ain't got no one to talk to. Need some diehards to be around. Some hardcores. Watching the Jared Anderson fight. We're going to be doing both. So we will be intertwining a little bit. So we're just getting the stream started up. So take your time. Get yourself in here. The main event's going to start probably 3 hours from now. But the main card is going to be starting. So give us a few minutes and we'll get this started. Oh, yeah. What up, Fran? What's going on, man? Yeah, we getting the stream started, man. UFC 300, and we got Top Ranks Boxing, Big Baby. Jared Anderson will be coming in on the ESPN programming. So, like I said, we just in here, we're kicking it. If you guys need some fight companions, is what they call it. This is the place. We'll be intertwining between both sports, so it's a big night in boxing, right? We got the heavyweight, Americans heavyweight, with UFC 300 in Vegas. Can't get any better than this, right? Why you guys coming in? Let me know where you guys are from. Why tinker with all the settings? Yes, sir. And let me know who you guys got winning today, man. All right. Let's get this started up a little bit. So check it out, it's your boy, Ron Goodall over at FightHype.com, the one of many different interviewers over here. Starting to show my face a little bit more, but we have what we would consider a double header in the combat sports world. UFC 300, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, which is supposed to be their biggest, if not baddest event. In addition to it, in Corpus Christi in Texas, we got a heavyweight card. Jared Anderson versus Ryad Merhy, F.A. Ajaba versus Guido, and Robson Canseco is coming back. So, but like I said, for all the hardcore fans, all the boxing fans, we got a little UFC tonight, right? We're gonna switch it up a little bit. But in all due respect, we're gonna put the UFC as the front headline for this. So this is where all the actions is. This is where all the stars are at. So I don't know if you guys got to peep some of the stuff. But Holly Holmes fought tonight. She got choked out. Wasn't probably the greatest performance she had in recent time, but she took on a tough opponent, two-time gold medalist, Kayla Harrison, got her out of there. But at the same time, over at Top Rank, we got Robson Canseco, gold medalist. And he had great fights against Navarrete and Shakur Stevenson, Heart of a Lion, so. But all right. Give me 1 second while I get this tweaked out, while everyone's coming in. All right. You guys are coming in for the UFC 300. Tell me who you guys got. Is there any potential upsets that you got? We got Bo Nickal making his showcase, right? Charles Oliveira versus Arman, which is supposed to be a great action-packed fight. The fight that probably a lot of fans are really tuned in, it could be a main event on his own, is Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. And lastly, we got the women's fight. Will I Zane fighting on which would be the first Chinese versus Chinese championship. And then, really, this fight can't go the distance. Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. I mean, we're going to be starting up, and it's going to be great. So, if I would probably parlay, right? And I'm not like a betting guy. Obviously, I would put Bo Nickal on every parlay. This guy, Bo Nickal, is definitely set up to win. I mean, if you look at the betting odds, it's almost unfair, minus 2,100. I mean, wouldn't it be worth putting even $1 on that? I think there's a lot of money that you guys can make between the Alex Pereira fight, the Justin Gaethje fight, and the Charles Oliveira fight. We already saw that there was an upset with the Yuri, right? Alexander was a minus 120. And pretty much, if you look at the card, it's been pretty consistent for the most part. Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt, that went accordingly planned. Bobby Green, Jessica Andrade was almost the first upset. But in this case, Jalen Turner did lose. So that was the first upset on the early prelims. Diego Lopez won, Kaylee Harrison won, and Aljamain Sterling won. So it seems like, if you look at it, there's technically a trend. Early prelims, one upset. Prelims, one upset. So the main event has to at least have one upset. Which one is it going to be? I don't know. I mean, these are great fights. So right now on top rank, we got Robson Kostenkow, who's going to be taking on a pretty good tough opponent after having a really tough fight against Navarrete, which could have been very controversial if he didn't get knocked out in those fights. So all right. It looks like the UFC is going to be getting ready to get their thing going. I mean, that place looks completely packed. I mean, these guys have been building this event for quite some time. The UFC 300 has been an event that they've been promoting forever. And I think that when the UFC 300 was first announced, it was a little underwhelming because I think a lot of people was looking for a Conor McGregor, a Michael Chandler, maybe an Israel Adesanya, and, you know, DPP. But sometimes fights get made at certain times, and sometimes certain fights can't be made. And this was a fight that was able to get made. And when you strip away the big stars and the big names, this is a fight that eventually had to happen, right? You got a new light heavyweight, Alex Pereira, who had a dominant performance coming into this division, beating, you know, Jan, Yuri, and then now he's going to be taking on Jamal Hill, who was originally the champion, and at this point was quote-unquote vacated or stripped due to injuries, and now he gets an opportunity to come back and fight for the title. So this is really the true undisputed light heavyweight title bout that we're going to be able to see who really is the world champion. So if I would kind of safely bet on who would possibly win this fight, I would probably pick Alex Pereira just because of the momentum, the striking. I mean, he's big for his previous division, and light heavyweight suits him very well. And the wins, like beating Yuri, like aged so well. It aged so well, ironically, on the same card that they both headlined not too long ago. And that just builds a little bit more confidence that Alex Pereira can get this done. But at the same time, there was a lot of fighters like Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz, you know, a lot of MMA guys who said don't count out Hill. I mean, Hill is obviously considered the underdog, rightfully so, but if you look at the betting odds, minus 135, plus 114, it's really not that bad. So now this fight right here is really interesting because simply the fact that Weili Zhang, I've always been a huge fan of her, and I've always thought that she was purely the most dominant female fighter, you know, outside of Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. So when she lost to Rose Namajunas, not just once but twice, it does kind of put some sort of questions. You know, can she actually perform well against strikers? And we've seen it against Joanna, you know, and even when they originally fought the first time, it was a barn burner and it could have almost went either or. So she's improved tremendously from that point on, but Yan is also a strong, powerful puncher. So we have fights on ESPN and FightHype is doing an MMA preview. I mean, look, Bang Bang Boogie, I cover both, right? I'm one of the few guys that have actually covered UFC events, boxing, and a little bit of wrestling. So I mean, look, once Jared Anderson and Ryad Merhy gets in the ring, F.A. Jabba gets in the ring, you know, we can kind of switch it over there. But you can't ignore it. Like, as a fight fan, hence this why it's called FightHype. It's not an MMA preview, but yeah, man, we cover everything, right? You're not interested in UFC 300 Bang Bang? Or are you just like, man, it's boxing only? Top ranked cards do that to people. Bayside Boxing, what's up, man? I mean, look, and I'm just going to be transparent. We already know the Robson Castancao fight is definitely a fight that is going to get him kind of back into motion. And, like, I'll pull up the box rec, right? I'll get into my boxing bag, right? I'm going to pull in the boxing bag because really the card people really want to see Jared Anderson, right? So, and early on the card, Abdullah Mason did his thing. Personally, I would have loved to see Abdullah Mason on the main card, but I know he's a build-up prospect. I'm high on Abdullah Mason. That dude is tremendously talented. I can't wait to continue covering him and his whole family, right? There's 5 of them, like the Jackson 5, the Mason 5. But, you know, he's going to be facing what's ranked 328 in his division, do one in Mexico. I mean, when you really look at it, he's only fought in Mexico. Not putting it past the ability for this guy to make an upset. But Robson Castancao is already destroying him in the second round. I mean, landing tremendous, huge right hooks. He's a gold medalist. And think about it. Shakur was putting a beating on him. And he was able to take that punishment. Navarrete, he arguably could have won that fight if he didn't get knocked down. So, unless I see an upset, you know, I'm going to keep an eye on it. But the competitive, more marketable fights, the more entertaining fights that might happen until the heavyweights start getting down, it's going to be the UFC. And ironically, as I say that, Bo Nickal is going to be what is the equivalent of like a boxing, right? This is definitely a tune-up, showcase, whatever you want to call it, minus 2,100, right? Absolutely ridiculous if this dude would lose on this card, right? You're talking about almost 50-50 fights, 2-1, 1-1 kind of odds on these fights. And then this dude out of nowhere starts the card at minus 2,100. There's not even a single fight on this card that even goes beyond minus 500. I don't even think we have a minus 400, right? I mean, it doesn't show the odds for Holly Holmes and Kayla Harrison, so that might have been maybe the closest thing. But minus 2,100, bro, like, I get it. They're just trying to marquee him, but I'm cool on this fight. So, what you guys up to, man? Are you guys entertained by any of the fights tonight? If not, are you guys just kind of gearing up, just saving your money, waiting your time, putting your energy towards Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia? Is that a more eye-catching title? You know, I mean, fight card, right? So, but either or, we're getting ready. We're previewing up the UFC 300. The fight hasn't started yet. We're just waiting for the first fight to start. Right now, on top rank, Robson Castancao is just kicking some ass. So, but some interesting stuff to look into, man. I think the Jared Anderson fight is going to show how much he has improved in that time off. You know, I did an interview with him recently, and he seems like he's in good spirits, but with all the news and all the negativity and the headlines that the media's put out, you know, it could be pretty distracting, right? And I asked him in the interview, simply just when you're at home, does that create that type of distraction that can kind of get you off your A game? And is that why you moved to Texas? So he didn't really necessarily felt like it was like a want or a need, but kind of like forced upon himself to be kind of a lot more successful. So with that time off, some of the stuff at home, he has a new baby girl, or I don't know the gender, but I know he's a baby on the way. We'll see how that plays, you know, into his arsenal tonight. But UFC 300 looks packed, man. And when you look at it, man, it's interesting to see, like, when it's a boxing event and a UFC event, they always showcase, like, the contrast of two different types of stars, right? At a boxing event, you might get, like, basketball players, rappers, you know, obviously actors, you know, certain kind of things. But then you look at UFC, you know, Donald Trump's there, Mark Zuckerberg, which is put on the camera. I mean, you get influencers, you know, a lot more influencers seem to go to UFC. So it's just interesting. It's almost like the world's divided in half, and one goes to boxing and one goes to UFC. So, all right. Let's see. Yeah, it'd be quite funny to see if Bo Nickal got an upset loss, though. So right now, looking on the top ranked card, Robson Castlecow looks like he's doing his thing. More than anything, it looks like he's just trying to get back into the groove. You know, after kind of taking those tough fights against Shakur Stevenson, Navarrete, it's good to see him. He has a fight that warrants a good tune-up. I see that he's trying to load up on his right hand a lot, and really feels like he's trying to force a knockout. But in this case, it doesn't seem like it's probably going to be coming pretty soon. But let's see. One sec. All right. So while we wait for this first fight to start, put some interviews up, throw up something real quick. Let's see. So if you guys didn't see the other day, last night, we had a Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal press conference that was really interesting, all right? These guys have definitely fought each other in MMA, and now they're deciding when to go in a boxing match. So this is some of the preview. In case you missed it, I'll play it right before the first fight on the UFC 300 starts. I can't. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, if you go on FightHype, we had a pretty cool highlights, a whole bunch of interviews between Masvidal and Nate Diaz. These guys are actually doing a boxing match. So, the money's in boxing, right? All these guys are coming over here. Be honest, I felt like the press conference was extremely underwhelming. I wanted a little more trash talk. I actually covered the MMA press conference that they did. So, you know, these guys are probably a little bit older, a little bit more mature. You know, just ready to just fight. But yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to see this, just take a peep over. We got tons of content over there. So, I'm going to close this out. All right. So, let's get straight into it. Bo Nickal was walking into the ring. All right. Bo Nickal is this highly touted, highly respected grappling machine who has shown a little bit of striking capabilities. The UFC is pushing so much on this guy, and not saying that he don't deserve it, but clearly his opponent warrants an ass whooping for the world to see. So if we really look at it, this fight should be quick, easy, and hopefully done fast so that we can actually get to our first legitimate, interesting match, which would be Charles Oliveira versus Arman. And then really the Justin Gaethje Max Holloway fight. I mean, that fight is just, I'm so torn because I love these guys, man. Both these guys are They gave us so many great fights in the past, and personally, at the end of the day, either one I'll be happy, and either one I'll be sad to lose. So, Point Fire, what's up, Point? Appreciate you contributing to the chat. Meanwhile, Inoue and Usyk conduct themselves as a complete gentleman. I agree. I don't think I've ever seen Inoue or Usyk do any like trash talk, any type of level of disrespect. Usyk's been quite like a good sport. He'll make a joke out of everything. And then Inoue, I mean, the time to really talk shit was the Stephen Fulton fight when he's being accused for all these type of accusations about gloves and, you know, yada yada and stuff like that, hand wrappings and stuff like that. So he just complied, right? And just with that, I think by far, even to today, that was his best performance. And even I, who speak so highly of both Stephen Fulton and Naoya Inoue, and a part of me felt a little bit that Inoue was able to wash him like easy. But at the same time, I cover Fulton like when he fought all type of undefeated guys, right? Since Blue Nose to Arnold Kagai. I even made a joke with him because, you know, going with politics, Al Heyman you don't really see a lot of WBO Al Heyman champions, right? So when he fought like all these undefeated fighters, and he was going for the WBO, I was like, does Al Heyman like you or does he believe in you? So I got a lot of respect for Stephen Fulton. So at the end of the day, Naoya Inoue is a gentleman. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of controversy about his perspectives of like having a fight, fighting in Japan. Like, oh, you got to come in America. He's fought in America multiple times, but you go where the money's at. The money's in Japan, and until the money's in America, and there's a fight that warrants it, he'll come over. But let's see. Too honest, I appreciate you too. Hey, I appreciate you guys just coming in, man. You know, this is kind of a startup stream. You know, normally a boxing channel, so I know it's not the biggest chat, but I appreciate you guys coming and supporting. Love and respect from Red Hour Boxing. Oh snap! Like, are you the dude that runs Red Hour Boxing? If so, you know, FightHype would totally love to cover. You know what I mean? So, I know there was some cool events in Texas. I wish Razak was there, but he's too old. Yeah, I agree. Rematch Fulton in Vegas. Only if Fulton kind of like, I don't want to say like redeem himself, right? But it has to be like an interesting kind of point, like a build-up, right? So I can't just say right away, just rematch him. I think Inoue has the right to say, hey, I'm fighting in Japan. I make a lot of money here. So Mr. Quake, man, I appreciate you bouncing back. So it's called FightHype. So no, I appreciate it. You know, beef. I know a lot of guys here, they've only covered boxing. I'm like one of the few, if not maybe between me and the owner, Ben Thompson, have covered like legitimate UFC, MMA, and then boxing. So, and it's cool, right? It's like a UFC 300, right? We can break away a little bit from boxing because next week it's gonna be all Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. Like it's gonna be Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia every single day. So, but Jamal Hill is him. Justin Gaethje's cool. I agree. So all right, so we got the first round going. Bo Nickal in the ring. All right, let's be honest. Bo Nickal should be able to handle this guy easily, right? Minus 2,100 for a reason. The bookies see something. This dude that he's fighting does not look like he's that guy. I mean, he's throwing a lot of wild shots. Maybe he's hoping to maybe land something crazy. He's throwing a lot of energy, flying knees, throwing hard, crazy right hands. Bo Nickal tussles with Brundage, and he got him against the cage. This is a little sloppy fight. You know, Nickal looks like he needs to kind of like calm him down a little bit, but he has him in a good headlock, and he has him against the cage. And this is where Bo Nickal shines. Like, he's a really good grappler. He should be able to take this guy down easy, submit him, ragdoll him. Like, that's what we're watching this fight for. This fight shouldn't be competitive. We shouldn't be watching anything that promotes a great fight. We should be seeing a dominant, one-sided, landslide performance to highlight his abilities. So, let's see. I mean, to be honest, does he know he got fans here that want to see him fight? I think the money's there if it's a good one. You know, Inoue has been out here 3 times, not on the most like extravagant fights. His last fight was against Maloney during COVID, so that don't really count. He was on the like the Superfly cards with Tom Loeffler and Cali, so it's been some time, and he definitely has garnered some American fans. But in Japan, it's so crazy. It's almost like he's like their superhero, right? And unlike here, they raffle his tickets out to like some Jordans, right? They they raffle it, and you might have the money, but you don't have the luck to get the Inoue fight. So they really have put a lot of effort making him that guy out there. So, but I would totally love for Inoue to come back here, and I think with the right opponent and the right time, eventually he would have to. So, but any criticism of him not fighting in America, it's not warranted, right? I know that there's this conspiracy about drug tests and things like that. I mean, that's on every fighter. But realistically, at the end of the day, if it makes sense, come here, and if we have the proper opponent. But Bo Nickal right now, 2 minutes and almost 30 seconds, he got his opponent Brundage on the ground. Right now, Brundage is trying to prevent Bo Nickal from getting his choke underneath his chin, and pretty much it's a battle between the lock and his chin. And right now, Bo Nickal's right on top and just having his way right now. It's not really too competitive at this point, and it's just a matter of time if he can actually slide his arm underneath his chin and choke him out. So, Mr. Quake, look, I'm happy that Nigeria and Cameroon is represented too, but I wish Ghana has one champion, but it's like Japan over again. Yo, I'm telling you, Ghana will, right? I used to cover Duke Micah. He almost had it with Casemiro, right? He had the opportunity. Ghana always produces hard-hitting punches. So one dude's going to come out and knock the living shit out of somebody, and you already know, like, that's. But if you're talking about Ghana as in UFC, if that's what, because there has been Nigeria and Cameroon with Francis, and then you got Usman and Israel, but yeah, for Ghana, I don't know, I don't think so. I'm afraid for Max, but I think Gaethje would hurt him badly. You know, I'm a humongous Max Holloway fan. Like, I love Max to death, and I love Gaethje to death. I've been watching these dudes for quite some time, and I think the last time Max moved up when he fought Dustin Poirier, you saw that he had the skill set, but he just didn't have the size and the power, right? So he's able to kind of make it competitive until Dustin rocks him. I feel like this fight's going to be kind of similar, and Justin is like kind of peaking again. Like, it's almost the second peak after beating Dustin the way he did. And Max has been kind of like withering away, and I know that he's had like that kind of comeback fight with Korean Zombie, but, you know, I don't want to say they're washed, but I love Max, but I would favor Justin Gaethje. And if Max can do it, like, wow, he's definitely the BMF, right? Ariel Helwani is the Bob Costa MMA. I just talked to Ariel Helwani, Mr. Quick, the other day at the Nate Diaz and Masvidal boxing press conference, and got some contacts. So I don't know, maybe I'll bring Ariel, you know, maybe Ariel will show some love to FightHype, you know what I mean? And maybe something he can do like an MMA thing. So that'd be kind of cool. But shout out to Ariel, you know, chill guy in person, you know what I mean? You know, there's a lot of stuff said on the internet, but I've never had anything negative about him. Razak's the best striker, but no grappling skills like he did judo. Yeah, I can see that. Pride FC, I missed it. Who don't miss Pride, man, right? Real quick, just catching up. We're like 7 seconds. You know, the first round's about to be over, 6 seconds. So Bo Nickal just been kind of like top control, had him on the ground. Didn't really get the ragdoll, but just kind of comfortably in control on top. So FightHype, who won the main event? Daniel Alexander. You're talking about for the UFC? If you're talking about the UFC, we just started a main card. And if you're talking about the top rank, we just started a main card on that too. Robson Kasakawa was in the 6th round, 6 out of 8. No drama really over there. Looks like he's just kind of having a comfortable comeback fight. So we're just here. We're just kicking it. Just some fight fans. If you're a cross between boxing and MMA, we're just here. Some degenerates. You ain't got homies to chat with. This is just what we're doing. We're just kind of chatting with y'all. Mr. Quay, I feel sorry for Japan first, other than now this is with Inoue. Ronda Rousey's the best grappler, but horrible strikers. She's a terrible striker, man. Like, and all due respect, right? I'm not saying like I'm trying to disrespect. It's just my job to give fair criticism, right? Amazing judo, right? Kayla Harrison, similar 2-time gold medalist. But I think she was at a time where MMA female fighting was at the start of evolving, and she started to kind of be the end piece of that. That's when you started seeing Valentina Shevchenko's, the Amanda Nunes, the Will-I Zhang, like that transition started coming over, and you gotta have hands, man. So she was only able to do so much with judo when she fought, you know, kind of a diverse fighter like Holly Holm. She found out real quick that she just couldn't get busy, and then Amanda Nunes took her out. Mr. Quake Handler, issues not the athlete, bad advisors. Ghana UFC, yes, I mean, yeah. There'll be someone from Ghana. Bo Nickal, oh yes. You like Bo Nickal, Daniel Alexander? Because as in right now, he's supposed to ragdoll this guy, right? We're in the second round, and I'm not saying it's competitive, but I'm just waiting for that minus 2100 that we're waiting for, right? Because he's had some great highlights, right? But right now, he's, you know, you can see he's developing. So, thanks, Alan. It's crazy how far UFC has come. You know what's so crazy about UFC? And I'm 33. I remember just like watching boxing events, like on pay-per-view. I don't know how old you guys are, but after the pay-per-view events, they would have these like backyard wrestling commercials that it was bloody as hell, and they would mix in UFC with it. So I would see UFC commercials, backyard wrestling, and it would be right after the boxing pay-per-view shit, and I'm just like, yo, this is some gruesome carnage shit. And I never thought like backyard wrestling was gonna go mainstream. So to see that UFC came from kind of like that kind of area, that type of promotion around that time, that type of niche, and has really evolved to be like a mainstream sport, it's incredible. So it definitely came far. And it's crazy because now you can kind of even see like there's an MMA style versus guys that just could have a specific style and they just throw them in and fight like Tekken or Street Fighter. But now they actually have an MMA style. You can tell that they have created that stance and things like that. How was it with Ariel? Oh yeah, I think I spoke on it. Yeah, Ariel's cool, man. Ariel's a cool guy, man. You know, none. He's not like Hollywood or nothing. No special effects. Just a regular guy. Very similar, you know, with like the guys here at FightHype. You know, just guys that love fights, covering it and watching it. Hope Razak goes to Bellator 1 FC. Yes, man. Ghana has the best boxer, but MMA is pretty much as an afterthought. Ronda Rousey was a pioneer in MMA. Women MMA, absolutely. You can't say women MMA without Ronda Rousey. That's facts. I respect Amanda Nunes. I mean, really, yeah, you said Gina, Misha, Cyborg. Like, really, that was the first big female mega fight I saw on Strikeforce on Showtime. Gina Carano and Cyborg was really kind of the first one that really got it going. Then Ronda. So, thanks, man. UFC's 30 years old, man. I've seen a few of them on YouTube. Valley dude, and infomercial for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, right? Yeah. You guys play any fighting games too? Just saying, because I've been trying to get some Tekken in sometime, but I've just been so busy, man. Tekken 8's been kind of like my go-to lately right now. So with 2 minutes left on the second round, Bo Nickal looks pretty similar in the first round. It took him a little bit to get him on the ground, but eventually he did. His back control and Brundage is just not giving, you know. At this point, it's just a battle if Nickal could just get underneath his chin and choke him out. Brundage is a little bit more tired than he was in the first round, but he's still putting on a fight. He's peeling the hands away from Bo Nickal to prevent him from getting an actual solid, you know, placement around his neck against the cage. And at this moment, Bo Nickal has his feet against the cage. Brundage has his feet against the cage, and oh, he got the tap. Damn, that wasn't underneath his chin. What the fuck? He didn't even like get underneath his chin. I mean, Bo Nickal's putting thumbs down. I don't know if he's not happy with his performance, right? I mean, very odd choke. I mean, I don't know if that was a lot of pressure on his chin, similar like Conor and Khabib, but it was kind of like a mid-tier choke. I have to see the replay, but he goes right over to Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. If you're an MMA guy, you know Mark Zuckerberg is all into this MMA shit now, and he wants to be an MMA fighter and probably want to fight Elon Musk. So, but yeah, man, get that money, man. Mark Zuckerberg got that money, so why not entertain that? But yeah, I saw Gina on Strikeforce and NBC. Kayla Holly are the future. Fight Night Street Fighter ready to rumble. Kayla's big arms, yes she does. Valley Tudo a Brazilian street fight. Anyone got a Discord link for the fight? Nah, we don't give out links here. We're just here, just kicking it, just live chat. And it looks like Robson Kasankau looks like I've seen a replay if he got the stoppage. Yeah, it looks like he got the stoppage to the body. It was just a matter of time. It's a complete mismatch. You got a former gold medalist who's competed for the title twice versus a guy who's never fought out of Mexico, which no disrespect, but you know, if you look at his rankings, it was like 300 and something in that division. So this is a tune-up for Robson Kasankau. So Kayla Harrison, oh boy, right? I need to see a little bit more, right? I'm not saying that the win against Holly Holm is not impressive, but, you know, Holly Holm's beyond past their prime. And we always question other promotional companies. Are they really that good? If they enter UFC, are they really not just the best in their organization, but can they actually do some damage, right? So we see it a little bit less than none, but my family thinks MMA is kickboxing. Well, that's fair, right? Because think about it. If you're an MMA fighter and you're not able to get your opponent on the ground, and now it's pretty much a stand-up game. And MMA fighters have to block kicks and knees and elbows and stuff. So it's really a Muay Thai kickboxing fight if they can't get them on the ground. So, but if someone has a better offensive grappling game, then that's typically what you'll see the mixture in. But other than that, I prefer seeing the MMA kind of kickboxing kind of fights because that just shows that these guys have taken their craft seriously and they have kind of prevented takedowns and kind of study the wrist control and top control and know how to scramble. So I respect Ronda, but she is cocky as well as insecure. You know, a lot of fighters might be portrayed as cocky, you know, inflated confidence, you know, you have to have that delusion. But at the same time, when you watch these fighters, if they don't have that confidence and they doubt themselves, then bad things kind of happen. So, and the insecurity obviously comes with probably like, you know, a lot of potential, right? She's probably been built up to believe that she was going to be this bigger than life person, which she was, and then reality hit, just like all fighters, and came down tough. And she didn't have a fall from grace. She had 2 tough fights, 2 losses. A knockout kick against Holly Holm, took 2 years off. Didn't do any press tour, fought fought Amanda Nunes, and seeing the fact that the Holly fight at least went on, the Ronda Rousey fight was over before it even started. So at that point, taking that type of loss, right? 2-time gold medalist. I mean, imagine, depending on how much you are into boxing, imagine if Clarissa Shields lost her first fight by knockout. How do you think she would take it, right? Imagine if she loses 2 by knockout, how well she would take it. All the criticism and all this stuff. So that's what Ronda Rousey came from, a 2-time gold medalist position where she essentially don't know how to lose. Built up to be this person and continue to beat the people that was in front of her. So, and you know, when she fought, the world watched. You know, it wasn't just some fight like kind of tucked on the side. Like everybody was tuned into her fights. So you couldn't really hide from that. So, but you know, she still has to kind of come to terms and figure out from that. But anyways, I'm not a psycho or anything. I remember Marvel vs. Capcom is the shit. I was kind of playing some of the throwback Marvel vs. Capcom not too long ago. At least they didn't call it human cockfighting. Rip. Yeah, John McCain. They did. And John McCain, what's so funny is he was a big boxing guy, boxing advocate. So I saw some fights on HBO and Showtime too in the past. Ronda Rousey just whines and complains and covers her face. It's wild. Yeah, Kayla Harrison is a medalist too. Exactly. She just can handle it with class, unlike Ronda. I would hope and think so. Hey, so Mike Tyson's at the UFC 300. Chuck Liddell's there. Obviously, you know, Valentina Shevchenko, like we talked about, she's chilling there ringside or octagon side, right? So, future Hall of Famers or current Hall of Famers, right? Remember UFC 100 making history during the tough era, right? Let's pull up what the UFC Tough 100 card, maybe not UFC 100 card, right? Oh my God, that headline! Look at that! What a fucking card! This was UFC 100. Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. GSP versus Thiago. John Fitch versus Paulo Thiago. Dan Henderson versus Michael Bisping. Yoshino versus Alan Belcher. Yo, it's funny because they don't even have pictures of some of these. They don't have a picture of Mark Coleman? What the fuck? Then look, this is crazy, right? Jim Miller just fought on UFC 300 against Bobby Green. And here he is, Jim Miller. Like, was he on? I don't even know if he was on UFC 200. I gotta check. I can't remember. But that's cool. That's a fun fact. He was on UFC 100, now 300. John Jones. John Jones was on the prelims versus Jake O'Brien. Yeah, man. This is some old shit. Matt Grice. Yeah. Let's see what UFC 200 looks like. I remember Maypac 2, Jamie Foxx, cringe. U.S. anthem. Oh my god. The U.S. anthems. So Trump, Tyson are big MMA fans? Of course. They're always there. In Ghana, we got soccer, boxing, and basketball, etc. MMA, it'll come in due time. Okay. UFC 200. Misha Tate versus Nunes. Yes. That was. Holy shit. I lived in San Francisco around that time. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. UFC doing their honorary. Yeah, this is pretty badass. They're like, oh my god, this guy is so big. Alright, UFC 200. Let's go down UFC 200, alright? Oh, Fergie? Yeah, let's not talk about Fergie. Misha Tate, Amanda Nunes. Yep. Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt. Daniel Cormier versus Anderson Silva. Jose Aldo versus Frankie Edgar. Cain Velasquez versus Travis Brown. Kat Zingano versus Juliana Pena. Johnny Hendricks versus Calvin Gastelum. TJ Dillashaw was on this card. Sage Northcutt. Oh, I remember there's so much hype on him. OG Diego Sanchez. Gegard Mousasi. Yo! They fucking did it. They fucking did it. I know they probably talked about this and it slipped my mind. Jim Miller has been on UFC 100, 200, 300. At least he won 200. At least he won 200 because he didn't go 0 for 3. Jim Miller's literally been on all 3 of these cards. That's great. That is fucking great. They knew what they were doing by putting Jim Miller and Bobby Green. Okay. A little historic value. This is what UFC does too. UFC puts this like historic kind of thing so that they can kind of go back and like, this is the only fighter that's been at UFC 100, 200, 300. They do that for marketing promotion, but I didn't even realize that Jim Miller was on all 3 of them. That's quite funny, right? And that's not by accident. So, but hopefully by UFC 400 he hangs it up, man, because my man. He's been around some times. He's been in some wars, man. That Bobby Green fight was pretty bad. I miss Mayhem Miller too. Yeah. So right now in the boxing side, F.A. Jaba's getting ready to come in the ring. I remember Bash Runting on Cartoon Network and Here Comes the Boom. Oh damn. Trying to make me feel old right now, bro. Okay. On UFC, we got Charles Oliveira versus Arman coming up. This fight should be real interesting, right? So if you got Bo Nickal on your parlay, you're good. Charles Oliveira versus Arman. This is a good fight right here. Michael Goldberg is a legend. Yep. You know, this FA versus Guido fight, I've actually got to see these guys spar each other at the Top Rank Gym. And it's interesting, you know. Sparring, you know. And I don't think what I saw in sparring is going to reflect what I'm going to watch right now on the Top Rank. So, I wish Korean Zombie would won a title. Yeah, me too. I'm half Korean, so I totally wish, just like you about Ghana, was able to get a world champion. So, I totally agree, 100%. Ironically, Street Fighter music comes in right now. This is something happened just in the crowd with Arman. He like looks like he's yelling at the crowd and shit. Or he's just hype. Maybe he's just hype. I miss both UFC on Fox and Fuel TV. Are you just reminiscing right now? Or are you just going down this? UFC on Fox was actually pretty good. I think the quality on UFC on Fox was better than UFC on ESPN so far, personally. You know, I feel like this era right now in the ESPN era is it's a little manufactured, forced. It's kind of oversaturated. It's a little too much, personally, in my likings. But it could just me just kind of like you looking at the older days. But UFC on Fox was better. They had better cards. It felt a little bit more organic and not forced. You know, even though this UFC 300 card is full of like fights, it feels a little forced because I feel like this would have been kind of like I don't know. I guess this makes sense for UFC. But like you would have a kind of fight like this on like a fight night card. I mean, there are some legendary fight night cards on UFC Fox like that. If we go back, I mean, there's some crazy shit. Well, ESPN is owned by Disney, so yeah. It seems a little. I fell off a little bit on my MMA game just because it's just so much now to watch and so much to just kind of keep track of, and you kind of don't really spend too much time really getting you invested into the fighters. They kind of just throw them around. So when you get a whole bunch of fighters you have no idea fighting and they're winning, they're continuing to fight, it's tough to keep track, right? It took me a little bit to figure out who this Armin dude was, you know, over time. So, and but he's a hell of a great striker, and I'll tell you that. I mean, let me see. Yeah, so they got him as a fair favorite. So, all right. So while the Oliveira fight's going on, F.A. Jabba is in the ring with Guido and two heavyweights, man. And really, I've seen a lot of improvement on F.A. And, you know, F.A.'s kind of working his way, trying to get himself back after the Frank Sanchez fight. So, ironically, that's another Nigerian boxer, you know. Let me switch to some new music. I respect Brian Stan, a Marine officer. I agree. Sorry, I'm not on a nostalgia trip. I'm just random thoughts. No. I'm just giving you some shit. Let's see. So right now in the first round, at least on the boxing side, FA is landing some, you know, sneaky right hands. He looks like he's trying to go over the top of Guido's jab, and you know, like I said, these guys have sparred each other before, so. I know Dick Tiger, like personally, or you just know him as a fighter. That's a Hall of Famer. That, if you go back and watch his old fights, that dude was mean as hell, so. All right, well, Guido's trying to go for a right hand. Barely misses, good body shot. After right now is covering up. Right now, Guido's on the move. Yeah, like I said, those two guys have sparred each other. But as of right now, going back to the UFC, Charles Oliveira is getting ready to get in the ring or the octagon. And yeah, I mean, look, this dude has the most submissions, most finishes in history. So if he's able to get one off on this guy right now, I mean, he's just going to continue to add to his legacy. And simply, sure enough, man, another opportunity for a title shot, which I think is more than warrant, you know. Bobby Lashley was an Army guy, fought Bellator 2. I knew him as a fighter. My family loved fighters. I miss my long hair. Did you ever fight Mr. Quake? Just curious, because I always see you around just kicking it and just kind of just wondering if you got a little bit of that fight in you, you know? All right, man. Now, I know that Charles Oliveira is known for getting submissions, but don't be surprised if he's able to land some bombs, because that man got some sneaky movement and some sneaky shots, right? So let's see. All right, let's see. All right. So Charles Oliveira is getting ready to get into a good old fight with Arman, man. Let's see, I did a little, and thanks. What type of combat sports did you do, man? But I always get in trouble. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm about shy as well. My father taught me some basics. Boxing, karate, and judo. Was that the girl that does the face-offs? Okay. All right. It's the first round. We're getting ready. Charles Oliveira is going to be taking on Arman. Pretty exciting. All right, so in the beginning, Charles Oliveira is doing a nice little movement, attempt of a low kick. He's trying to check the front leg of his leg. Right now you can see Arman has his stick. He's trying to get a good size reach. I mean, these guys are going to probably bang it out. Immediately these guys are, right away Arman slips and he falls, and Oliveira goes for a choke. Smart for Oliveira. And you know, this is where it kind of gets really dangerous for Arman. He doesn't want to be on the ground tussling around with a guy with this much submission attempts, submission execution, and submissions in UFC history. So Brazil has the best ever voice to Alex Pereira. I mean, look, not surprised at all. Oh, shoot. Already jumping for a jumping guillotine. Already Arman's in some serious trouble. He's in some serious trouble. He's trying to get... Oh, shit. This is looking already bad for Arman. Arman is struggling to get out. He just got out. That was crazy. Because any second I felt like Oliveira was going to get him. He was going to choke. But right now, Oliveira's on top controls, throwing some elbows down. I don't know how Arman was able to squeeze out of that. That was a lot of control and patience. And simply just looking at that, kind of reminded me a little bit about Volkanovski when he fought T-City. So, all right. Nice. Charles Oliveira is on top. He's right now he's just trying to get in control of his wrist. He's trying to get in position. He's trying to get a little bit of top control. And right now, Arman really what he needs to do is he needs to grab the wrist of Charles Oliveira. Because if not, he's going to be in a bad position because Oliveira's just trying to get side control and he's going to turn into a choke. Right now, Arman's trying to turn over, but he has to be careful because he does not want to give his back to him. I respect Oliveira. Yep. Brazil has the best ever voice to Alex Pereira. Yeah. My dad taught me in basics as well. My uncle loves boxing. Yeah, Arman seems good. All right, need 2 minutes. All right, bet. Brazil got MMA, volleyball, basketball, surfing, skateboard. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta go to a quick intermission. All right. Be right back. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, my bad. I had to do something for my son, so I had to do daddy duty, so I'm sorry. So, all right, so let's catch up. Who's winning? My dad was a street fighter back home in Ghana. Where you gone? Who's winning? What's Malad? So right now we're in the second fight. Second round. It seems like a lot of people got Oliveira in the first round. I mean, that's what it looked like, right? I mean, Oliveira pretty much had a lot of the scarier, clinch attempts, and then he almost choked him out. I think he had like two. What was it? I think he had two sub attempts. I know it says one, but right now this fight has been either a striking match or a fight that you got to prevent Oliveira getting you on the ground. So, the most part, let's see, switch this to round 2. All right, so Armin did a takedown attempt. They're scrambling. Armin successfully gets Oliveira down. Oliveira gets back up. Let's see. And right now, Armin has Oliveira pressed up against the cage. Let's see. A fight like this is so tricky because the fact is, like, Oliveira has so much to offer. He has the ability to submit his opponents, but at the same time, when people are always worrying about that, he has a sneaky power punch. So you gotta worry about both things when you fight this guy. All right, Armin right now seems to turn the tide and now actually has Oliveira on the ground, and he has top control. The place that he was in the first round. So. All right. Right now, Oliveira has to do the same thing I was talking that Armin had to do. You got to get some wrist control. Yes. Let's see. Who do you think is going to win? When I was first watching the fight, it looked like Charles Oliveira was already kind of like going to wash him. The tide seems to slowly switch back to Armin because Armin was definitely the guy who's supposed to win this fight. But anytime Oliveira does anything, you have to be very cautious. So, I don't know. I had this fight as a really 50-50 fight, and I just had to just kind of play safe. I didn't really have a pick in this. Because I know the potential that Charles Oliveira has. But then I also seen him come off kind of devastating losses. I mean, he does have, 9 losses? Let's see. It's very tricky when you fight a guy like Oliveira. This guy had a really bad early start, but he was able to turn tides and become a world champion. So, full fight, okay. So right now, it seems like as much as that these guys wanted to strike, it's just a pretty much ground game. And it's just right now, Armin is winning this round. He's on top. He has top control. And Oliveira cannot scramble out of this. So in between, Armin is going to kind of need a strike and get a couple ground and pounds in there to score some points, tire him out. And what's the thing about a guy like Oliveira, and he knows, is that if he does not get him off, all that energy he's expending on his back, trying to push him up, is really tiring. And Armin's able to just lay on top, rest. So by the time the third round happens, he's able to kind of recoup, be fresh, be strong, and this is definitely the place that Armin didn't want to be in the first place, and then in the second round, this is not where Oliveira wants to be. So it's real interesting. I would say right now it's 1-1. So, and really it just has to come down to the third round. So it is a 50-50 fight, and it's already 50-50 as we speak right now. But I think some blood is already trickling out of Oliveira. He's eating some elbows from Armin. Yep, to be honest, we got a cut, man. And it's starting to leak. So. Yeah, it's starting to be a little, I don't know where the cut's at directly. I think it's on the side of his top of his right head. All right, a few more seconds to the end of this round. Oliveira just has to survive. And the damn elbows gotta hurt. I agree, to be honest. Yo, that was a crazy elbow right there, too. Oh, shit. He just dragged him on the floor. That was crazy. Yeah, so I got that 1-1. You know, I don't really see this fight any different than anybody else online. I got Oliveira in the first, and I'll be surprised anyone had Oliveira for the second. So 1-1. Oof, what a good right hand. Really, to be honest, like right after this, like I have a good time, because like the Justin Gaethje Holloway fight's really what I'm all super excited about. The Will I Zhang, Alex Pereira, and we may potentially be bleeding around with the the next fight would be Jared Anderson. So let's see. All right, third round, final round. Both guys needs to win this round. What would be the best fight? I want the Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. Well, I want the Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje to be the best fight. And it really just depends on Max Holloway. But if not, then it's going to be Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill, right? Because those two guys, as quick it may last or as long as it lasts, that's going to be, I don't know. Everyone says there's going to be a war, so I take their word. But it really just depends. If Max can actually take Justin's punishment, and that's going to be a good fight. What up, Mr. Quake? I'm glad you're back. Right now we're in the third round, and pretty much either guy needs to win the fight. We're about 4 minutes in. 1 minute in. Some leg kicks from Arman. These guys right now are trying to just bait each other in. All it takes is one guy to get a good takedown. First guy to get a legitimate good takedown and get top control will probably win this fight. Kind of anticlimactic. The fight is not the most exciting fight to watch. Some strikes here and there and some clinching, but really at the end of the day, this has been pretty much who can get who on the ground and keep them down type of fight. Yan versus Zhang. I got Zhang, man. It's crazy that China is new to MMA but winning multiple titles. They got a lot of good talent out there. They're building, I think, if not already, a UFC facility out there. So, and they kind of be like poetic about it. Is that Bruce Lee has always kind of been adamant about like the whole MMA mixing martial arts together, and it's just kind of poetic to kind of see that now that those type of Bruce Lee kung fu flicks are now starting to come to fruition in a sport like MMA. So Arman's giving Oliveira a hard time. He absolutely is, and there's the takedown attempt right there, and he got it. So now it's just a matter of just keeping Oliveira down for the next 2 minutes and a half, and he wins this kind of anticlimactic fight. It's personally not my cup of tea when the fight just becomes taking someone down and holding them down or keeping them against the cage, but that's part of the game, right? So Arman is 2 for 4 in takedown attempts. He got one in this and one in the last one, and that's all it takes. So with 2 minutes left and he's keeping them down, it's already set in stone. So all right, well, Arman still has him down. And pretty much if Oliveira does not get up and make something big, right, this fight's done. It's now just a matter of just watching the time go down. All of them gone. Ali, Inoki, and Lee. Yeah? Your history, Mr. Quake. I feel like you're not this young. I don't feel like you're this, like, young guy. To be honest, I'm sort of new to UFC, but not new. Why is it good thing to be on top? But, why is it good? Oh, okay, all right. Scoring, basically. Well, the thing is, what's really important about MMA is control, right? So, like in boxing, like, you control the distance, you control the pace, you If you're aggressive, you're controlling the fighter, or if he's quote unquote running. So it's kind of the same philosophy, but in MMA, when your back's against the cage, right, and the other person's pushing you against it, that's more of the ideal situation for, I mean, not the ideal situation, because you can't do nothing about it. You're stuck, you know, you're being pressed. That's kind of like the effective aggression in boxing. And when it comes to top control, right, it's always about the ideal position. When you're fighting someone and you actually get someone down on the ground, you want to be on top so you can kind of punch and stuff. When someone is actually trying to prevent you from doing it, they're going to do everything, hold your wrist and hold your arm, or even kind of like you said, hold them into like a headlock, right? It does not mean that that person cannot do something with that and choke them out, right? But it's how he's holding them. Oh shit. Oh shit. Did Oliveira oh shit. Oliveira has completely reversed the tide. Few seconds left. Oh man. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't realize what was going on the side. Oliveira almost had Arman in a pretty bad situation. But to explain to you, too honest, when you're like in the position of top, you can actually punch, you can throw elbows, you can ground and pound, and the person underneath is supposed to try to grab your wrists and kind of hold you, right? Hold you, pull you down so you can't use those type of things. Grab you into a headlock, whatever the case is. Now, at that point, if no action happens, that's when the ref comes over and stands you guys up. But it's ideal to be on top. It's ideal to be pushing them against the cage. It's ideal to be in those type of ideal positions. But takedown are worth a lot. Obviously, not as much as like a knockdown, but it's kind of like equivalent of some sort of like change in tide. But that last minute kick trip to a headlock that I just completely missed, I mean, pretty wild. So if he was able to do that a little bit early, unfortunately, I think Arman won this fight with a 2-1, right? I think a lot of the control Arman had, just keeping him down in that third round, comfortably got him the lead. And it's unfortunate because I felt like if we had a little bit more time, Oliveira could have did something with that, because you see him sticking out his tongue, having a good time, but a little too late. But yeah, this is epic. UFC BMF is the interim championship title UFC, pretty much. Yeah, it's a close decision. I mean, what do you guys got? Who do you guys have? Appreciate that quick breakdown. It's not probably my best breakdown, right? But it's just whoever can kind of get that person in a position where they're forced to, you have to push them off the cage, forced to push them off the ground, right? If the opponent is in a position of leaning on them, they're more in the ideal position. As simple as that. If I'm leaning on you on the cage, I'm leaning on you, I'm leaning on top, you know, that's the ideal position. And that calculates quickly as control time. See, so I'll pull this up and I'll use this for example, right? Let me see if I can refresh this. Because sometimes they have like the time margin in there, right? So, okay, cool, perfect. Yeah, full fight. So it doesn't seem like they have it on a website, but like usually what happens is once someone's against the cage or on the back, they'll put a timer on it. They'll just time it, and then at the end of that round, you'll be like, he's on top control for 3 minutes and 40 seconds, or had him against the cage and clinch control for like, yeah, Arman got it. Arman, but he didn't dominate. If it was for a belt, I'll choose Oliveira. I love talked about fighting and pop culture, yeah. Did you guys peep any of the Drake and Kendrick Lamar and Rick Ross kind of diss tracks today? Because that was pretty much what all my attention was at. I really wish I was able to talk a lot about that. That was probably the highlight of all this. Right now I'm listening to the Yeah, I was over watching academics play it 100 times. So what do you think? What do you think about Drake's first shot towards everybody, right? Did you did you feel like it was a good warning shot? Was it a good diss track? You know what I mean? I know there's two versions, there's two different tracks. I like the second beat a lot more than the first one. So by far made things a lot more interesting now because I'm a big Cole guy too, but you know, just like everyone else, man, we didn't want to hear that apology stuff, man. We didn't want to hear that, man. Drake is man, yeah, yeah. I do feel like we're getting to a point where you know we can get some maybe Kendrick smoke. You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, J Cole's nice. It reminded me of Charged Up track he did for Meat Mill before Back to Back. I think he has better. Right? Did you think this was his Charged Up 2.0? Because it seemed real subtle, right? And it's at the end of the actual official one, it seemed like there was an actual track that had good music all around. Yeah. I sort of miss mumble rap for their personalities and all. You like mumble rap? Really? Michael Chandler's there. Uh-oh. Did Chandler just hint 303s when he's fighting? Did Michael Chandler just hint that he's going to be fighting UFC 303? You went like this. All right, this is the fight. This fight we wanted to see, man. The BMF. I sort of miss, yeah. What mumble rapper did you like? Like, who was your mumble rapper that you missed the most? In the lyrics, he claims he wasn't woken up yet, so I'm gonna take his word. Do you think he can go against Kendrick, man? Not like jumping over Kendrick, you know, Flag and his team and everything, but you know, like that's a good battle right there, man. You know, because Drake definitely has the popularity on his side, so anything he'll say will be heightened like times two. No, I mean the personalities that they captured in 6ix9ine. I seen it in a market bill. Oh, but the rapping just sucks. Yeah, it was entertaining, right? The entertainment was there. It just didn't match his actual bars and flows, right? I agree 1,000%. Just catching up some news. Kayla Harrison reacts to Amanda Nunes and Chris callouts. Okay. Kayla Harrison, did you guys want to see her versus Cyborg, or did you guys want to see her with Amanda Nunes? Because Amanda Nunes is really the money, like the fight. So maybe we can get her Cyborg and then Amanda Nunes. I mean, I missed the personalities, not the song itself. Remember Little Pump? Exactly, dude. Are they honoring Chael Sonnen in this? I think they're gonna honor Chael Sonnen for a Hall of Fame. Yo, Chael Sonnen was legitimately so close to beating Anderson Silva at a time that seemed was absolutely impossible. Like he was beating his ass. Just all right, let's see. I liked his chances better with J. Cole by his side, but I think Kendrick and Drake both have big enough fan bases that no matter what they drop, nobody will actually win. It was hip hop was trying to evolve, but since we get lost great talent, now you Capital Steve's Nipsey Hussle. We only got Joey Badass. Yeah, man, Joey. I love Joey Badass, man. He got so much good music. I think, unfortunately his album wasn't able to pop, but I enjoyed it. I like that song with him and Chance the Rapper. Chael Sonnen contributed to the sport. Pre-Kobe Covington. I remember that. I was scared. Oh yeah, you were scared for Anderson Silva? Yeah, dude, that was one of the most remarkable. The fact that he was able to submit Chael at that point was just wild. Chael was so close, man. Crazy. Look at that fucking crazy ass submission. That was nuts. Tyler Creator. Yeah, Tyler Creator is very talented, man. He got some witty music. Chael Sonnen can walk, so Kobe. This is true, man. Chael was completely mild out now. I was actually at his last fight. I covered his last fight at Bellator. When he fought one of the Gracies. Let me see, Chael Sonnen. Which Gracie did he fight? Let's see. Oh, he fought Okay, never mind. It was on the same card that a Gracie fought. That's what it was. Roy McDonald fought Neiman Gracie. That's what it was. And then Chael fought Machida, and he lost by a flying knee and punches. Yeah, that was at Madison Square Garden. Yeah. That was the first time I actually met Kamaru Usman before he was he a champion? I think this was around the time he was going to fight Tyron Woodley. I met 50 Cent and I met Kamaru Usman around the same time on that card. So. How was he like? Which one? Kamaru Usman? I didn't really talk with him too much, but I remember this dude was completely shredded. Like, every part of his body was, like, chiseled like a rock. Every aspect of it, so. Alright. Yo, what's crazy about Kamaru Usman is that there was a dude from my high school that I went to, and he was on that tough season. It was Mike Graves. Yeah, Mike Graves went to my high school. He was a pretty okay, decent wrestler from that time, but he evolved into clearly a better fighter because he was able to get into the UFC. But yeah, he was able to make it the distance with Kamaru Usman on tough. So crazy how small the world is, right? That a dude from like living in Ohio was able to meet someone from Nigeria and New York that happened to share the octagon with someone I grew up with. So it's always funny how life works out, right? So yeah, and as of right now, man, I haven't really been watching this F.A. Jabba fight, but it looks pretty rugged and sloppy, man. Like, I don't know if these guys have separated themselves from each other, so. Hip hop is 50 years old. Holy shit. I knew Alex Kerr's brother fought Usman and won. Let me see. Am I missing anything? Let me pull out my phone. Alright. Are any of you guys gonna peep the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight next week? UFC 300's epic. I mean, I feel like this is the part where it's really, for me, it's gonna start to take off. You know, Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream. I know who he is. I don't know him personally. I definitely don't know him personally. All right, we got the BMF walking in right now. I'm so torn because I don't know if I want Max Holloway or Justin Gaethje to win this fight. Izzy fight Alex Pereira during the glory days. Dude, Izzy got so lucky. I mean, I'm not saying lucky, but like, he almost got 4-0'd, bro. Oh my God. What a horrible, horrible experience to lose to a dude 4 times, twice in 2 different sports. Especially one that you've been in longer, so. Me too. They seem like good guys. Glory kickboxing, yeah. Tough sport, man. At least he redeemed in UFC. Barely, dude. I'll be honest. That fourth fight, it was looking kind of bad until he knocked him out. Not gonna lie, dude. Shit was getting rough for Izzy again, man. But you know, to be fair, like Alex is so freaking big, and he has like such a mean left hook, and he's a talented, badass fighter with power, and he's intelligent when he strikes. So Izzy just, all it takes is one. So. It's crazy that Izzy played both Linkin Park and Rock, WWF old theme song. He also came out with Undertaker before too. Yeah, Linkin Park, man. Music like that won't ever exist again. That era is done. And talent and stoic too. Let's see what they got. Justin Gaethje out here going. All right. Who they have winning this FA fight? I mean, the other fight with Marvin, his hands are stone. I thought the UFC ring was going to be black or gold. Kind of like I know that they're making the champions gloves are gold. This is a new thing. Who you guys got in this fight? You got Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. Let me know. I'll give a pick to second it, like right when they're both in there. Nah, just give it. Nah, I think Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje. But damn, dude, these two dudes about to fight each other. Alex Pereira had hands that are made out of stone, dude. The way he throws his punches too, like they look so lazy and look like they don't really do anything. So. Holloway's washed? Yeah. I don't want to think that, man. I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to think that way, man. Hopefully this fight could be like a reincarnation of Max Holloway, right? No. Didn't really watch this. I didn't watch this FA fight like that, but split decision. Damn, that fight must have been close. Damn, FA barely etched this fight. That must have been a close fight. New Metal era was crazy. Linkin Park, Deftones, Limp Bizkit, and Korn among the few, as well Emo 2, Too Honest, okay. I'm just saying, last time I watched him, it didn't look good. I know he got like his win against the Korean Zombie, but you know it's those two guys, you know, kind of washed, man. Holloway lost. No, Coyote. The fight's about to start right now. Like literally about to start right now. I mean, I'm picking Justin Gaethje to win the fight, but it's literally just about to start. That they are coming in the ring. I mean the octagon. So I remember seeing anime music videos with Linkin Park songs, especially DBZ. I agree. That was on everything. Oh shit, my camera cut out for a sec. No thanks, bro. Yeah, it's literally about to start. Like as we speak right now. So I don't know who you got, Coyote, but I got Justin Gaethje right now at the moment. Non-stop and Naruto. Yeah, he did that. Akira Toriyama is the Stanley of manga. I agree. YouTube is easier to access. You got Holloway. Respect. I feel like my heart's with Holloway and my brain's telling me Justin Gaethje. But the thing is, like, I like Justin Gaethje a lot too. So. Oh, you bet your whole life savings, Coyote? That's how confident you are? Mr. Quake 2024 is the year of the dragon. He gets the Walt Disney anime. Respect. Oscar De La Coca Zhang fight. That's the next fight. I got Will I Zhang coming up. Right now it's just the Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje fight that we got. And then Jared Anderson hasn't came on yet, so. FA Jabba won the fight by a split decision, so can't really tell you too much. I was kind of watching this UFC 300. Damn, dude, can these dudes just fight already? I know that they got to do the whole build up and the announcement. Got Holloway. Am I the only one that's going Gaethje, man? Am I the only one that picked Gaethje? Ah, shit. I'm sad that Charles Oliveira lost today. Yeah, the fight was close. It was 1-1, right? If it was a championship fight, it could have been different. Oliveira almost won that fight. All right? He almost got the decision, so it was close. All right, here we go. Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. They're in the center of the octagon. All right. You know, I love these guys' style. These guys are warriors. They guys have amazing striking. You know, Max Holloway definitely watches a lot of boxing. But the one thing that Justin Gaethje has is a hell of a leg kick. And leg kicks have definitely given Max Holloway tons of problems. So, he's moving up, fighting a bigger guy, strong guy. Right now, Justin Gaethje's putting the pressure on, trying to bully the smaller guy, Max Holloway. Max Holloway has good distance, good footwork, good movement. Justin Gaethje fakes a leg kick and actually lands a leg kick in the front leg. So, good fill out. Right now, Max is putting a couple of different jabs, high, low, kind of mixing up to do some level changes. And Justin Gaethje right now is putting some feints. You can tell that he's trying to mix up a leg kick potentially coming up while putting the pressure. And we all know Justin Gaethje got a lot of power in his hand. Another leg kick. Right now, I think Justin Gaethje does what he does best. Break him down a little bit, leg kicks, move, you know. I think it's really important Justin Gaethje lands a lot of leg kicks because you don't want Max Holloway to have the angles that he normally does to move in and out, around. And so break Max's leg kicks out, and there's a good leg kick that actually made Max Holloway drop. Max Holloway got up quickly, and right now we're already back to a stand-up game. So 3 minutes and 33 seconds have kind of went by. I mean, it's been 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Let's see. How to watch? We have to pay the pay-per-view or just like a kick it companion chat. So you can be in here if you want to peep. I wish Ken Shamrock wins the BMF title. Yeah. Holloway by knockout, 4th round. Yeah, I think UFC is now corrupt. Let's see. So right now, it's a pretty good chess match. You know, these guys are kind of keeping the fight in the center ring, and Max Holloway lands a quick, sneaky uppercut. Another right hand that sneaks up, hits Justin Gaethje, and I think he's starting to bleed a little bit out his nose. He lands 2 sneaky uppercuts at this. Wow, that was a great exchange, right? I mean, a great combo set up by Max. Good counter in. You can see Max is locked in, good zone, good jab. But these leg kicks from Justin Gaethje are continuing to go in. This is a really great technical fight, and you can kind of see now Max got a little bit of Justin Gaethje's respect versus the beginning where just Justin Gaethje was just trying to push him down. So, let's see. All right. About 2 minutes left on the clock. Justin Gaethje attempts for a left right and missed. Max Holloway moved. Back in range. Attempts to go to the body. It's a great fight. I love all the feints and all the technical, you know, because there's a BMF title, this fight actually has to go 5, so. Max Holloway goes for a leg kick himself. Yeah, Dio ESPN, yeah. Yeah, so right now, about a minute and a half left. They're centering the ring. You know, it's kind of a tough fight to score already. This first round, how do you guys have it? Do you guys have Max or Justin Gaethje? You know, I think Justin might. What's the strikes? I mean, damn, the strikes are significantly in favor of Max Holloway. I do like those leg kicks from Justin, but that right uppercut is starting to kind of land, so this might be a Max Holloway round. You know, Justin Gaethje is kind of a lot more stationary than he was the first few minutes. Another leg kick attempt landed. Max is really trying to land that right hand over. Good right hand to the body and gets right out of the way of Justin Gaethje trying to counter with the right. Yo, Max is on point. This is like almost vintage Max Holloway right now. And I know that he's moving up. He got the speed. He got the leg. As long as you don't get caught with something crazy, you know, Max can actually probably pull this off. He looks sharper than ever right now. Oh, Justin Gaethje trips in the attempt of a leg kick. Good sportsmanship. Tap hands, tap gloves. UFC went through a lot of SNG era, Zuffa era COVID. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, spinning back kick from Max Holloway the last second. Yeah, Justin Gaethje's, you know, he's got a little blood on his nose. He took a lot of shots to the face. That when he landed that right uppercut twice, almost in the same kind of attempt, that was pretty good. Is BMF title an open weight title? Pretty much, right? Because Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway and Masvidal and Nate Diaz, those guys are nowhere near the same weight class. Oh shit, he kind of landed that kick too. That spinning back kick grazed his face. Like Masvidal as welterweight. Yep, exactly. Yo, Justin is bleeding. All right, good feints. Justin Gaethje moves around a little bit. I'm 48. I can still be a UFC champ. I mean, why not, right? I bet John Jones would get one BMF title. Maybe if he comes back. You know, he's still the man. You don't get the BMF title is kind of for like guys who aren't a champion and haven't, you know, but have been in a lot of championship like pedigree fights. But right now, Max Holloway is styling on him. The guys that picked Max Holloway in here, man, I think you guys got me, man, because he's really putting this together really well. You know, Justin Gaethje is a great striker, is a great striking coach, so it's not that he's not good at this, it's just Max is just shining. And it's always funny what fights that Max shined at. It always seems like when he fights the big, bully kind of guys, he always shows up. Kind of like the Brian T. City, masterclass performance. And Justin Gaethje's leaking, man. He looks a little lost right now. Leg kicks attempts from Max Holloway starting to kind of enter the realm. Why has BJ Penn, Holloway, and Travis Brown? Yeah. Justin Gaethje looks bewildered. I think think an eye poke just happened right there? Yeah. Just in case she has an eye poke from a right hand. Justin Gaethje's looks a little lost. I'm trying to think, has Justin Gaethje been flatly, like completely iced? Yeah, he has, right? He fought Dustin and Eddie Alvarez, right? Not like completely iced, but yeah, he's been stopped. And I know Khabib choked him out, but fuck. Yeah. Right thumb grazed his eye, yeah. Good job, ref, for noticing. What are they saying right now? Broke his nose, huh? I don't know, but he is bleeding. What a fight. See, these are the type of MMA fights like I enjoy watching, right? And I you know, I appreciate the takedowns and stuff, but it's like you can see like the levels of like having to switch different angles, level change, kicks and balls, breaking someone down from more than just punching. Dang, I just finished all my eggs. Yo, eggs are expensive, man. Eggs are hella expensive now, man. Gas and eggs are like the same thing now. I know Max is poking the jab a little bit out there. Justin just seems like he just can't get a rhythm going. Seems real hesitant, and it seems like every time he tries to go, Max throws a good jab to like reset him. Good left jab by Justin Gaethje to the body. These are two BMFers, I agree. But right now, Max is really outshining and really putting it together really well. Damn, just boiling. Yeah, scrambled all the way. All right, about almost 2 minutes left in this round. Max Holloway is in full control. Justin Gaethje with a right hand attempt. Is that another eye poke? Uh-oh. Seems like he got poked in the other eye now. Oh, my bad. Is my mic low? What up, word of the day? Who you guys got? I mean, who you got? We're watching UFC 300 right now while Jared Anderson's getting ready to get in the ring. Peel them while the water is boiling. Coyote, you're tough. Good leg kick from Justin Gaethje. Still in the second round, about a minute left. Good left hook to the body by Max Holloway. I really like the diversity that Max Holloway does. He turns, he pivots. He's not afraid to go to the body. He's not afraid to throw an uppercut. He'll keep that jab in your face. He'll paw. He'll parry over their jab. Throw a couple leg kicks. Oh, good leg kick, kind of buckled a little bit, Max. Max needs to just make sure he's not overly confident because Justin Gaethje definitely has one of the best leg kicks in the game. How many fights per? So we got the BMF fight that's going on right now. Then we got the women's co-main, and then we got the main event. So after this, one more. What's this 300,000 bonus? It seems like Dana was talking about that he's gonna up the bonuses now to 300,000. So it's a good improvement for the fighters, right? Anderson really thinks he's a NASCAR driver. I mean, yo, I didn't even catch that pun. Like, that might be a play on his situation, right? Because they really put the whole thing about Kyrie. Yo. There has to be a tweet about that. That's pretty funny. That has to be him poking fun of himself about his situation and things that happened to him. So, remind me later. You funny, Bayside Boxing. I see you everywhere, by the way, so I appreciate you showing some love. But yeah, that's funny. All the stuff that he's going through with the cars and stuff like that, and he's out here in a NASCAR. That's kind of cool though. You gotta, he takes the criticism and he kind of turns into something. So I worry if Achilles tear will affect Jamal Hill. I mean, that's a huge thing, dude. Like when my father had like Achilles heel tear when he was playing basketball, like it kind of like roughed him up a little bit. So it kind of prevented him to kind of play basketball the same. That's a serious. That's another reason why I kind of got Alex Pereira. Ryad versus New Mancha Itch as Buckley Jaquan. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Bayside. You funny, man. That was a good one. All right. Let's see. We're in officially the third round of the BMF championship. Right now, I think Max Holloway is in solid control. I think it's a comfortable 2-0 right now, especially the first round. Let's see what I got. It's tough to not. If you can do more than that, leg fight might change. Didn't know that, dude. Anderson Silva is the first Brazilian race car driver. Ooh, good left body kick to Justin Gaethje from Max Holloway. There's a lot of different levels that Max is showing in this fight that he normally doesn't do. Like he's really poised. He's like locked in. And he's ready to trade the leg kicks with Justin Gaethje, man. I think Justin Gaethje is really trying to set up an overhand right hand, Kind of like this, he's trying to land a good shot like he landed on Edson Barboza. Good back kick from Justin Gaethje. Good leg kick from Justin Gaethje. If he keeps this up, he can kind of slow Max down, but he needs to be ready for the counters because Max Holloway is starting to put pressure on him at the moment. And leg stand switches from Justin Gaethje. I will triple my life savings tonight. That confident on Max Holloway. Yeah. You called it, man. As long as he doesn't gas out too on us, yeah. Oh, damn. Good right hand from Max Holloway that essentially buckled Justin Gaethje. Spinning back kick attempt from Max Holloway with an overhand swinging right kick. Oh, man. Max Holloway is starting to style on Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje looks a little lost. This is an incredible performance from Max Holloway because I'm not going to lie. I did not expect a full dominant performance. Max Holloway attempted to throw a jab to the body. Right kick to the body. Max is mixing it up on Justin Gaethje. And at this point, you have to think and wonder if you're Justin Gaethje, like, when do you exchange? Do you go first and worry about getting countered? Do you wait and get picked apart? He'll have some cardio. Yeah. My question is just how he looks when he comes back, all right? Yeah, everything Justin Gaethje looks like he's doing, he looks like he's reaching, he's out of range. He's not using a jab to measure his distance. It's just right hand missed by Max, countered by Justin Gaethje's right. Good leg kick from Justin Gaethje. It's a great fight. The fact that Max Holloway can handle these leg kicks is really great because these are really actual great leg kicks from Justin Gaethje that hasn't broken down Max and hasn't changed his movement. You get enough leg kicks, man, it makes your legs feel like quicksand and it makes it harder for you to move in, throw power punches, prevent takedowns. It's a funnily... Ooh, good right hand by Justin Gaethje. Max got a little sloppy right there. Right leg kick from Justin Gaethje. Max Holloway puts the pressure on him. Cash Crawford versus Spence type of dominance. In this fight, nah. Not yet. I need to see some knockdowns and some a little bit more, but ooh, good right hand from Max Holloway. Good right hand from Max Holloway. Max Holloway's on one. I don't even think I even seen him blink once, man. Try to grab Justin Gaethje's leg on his leg kick attempt, so you can see Max is trying to switch it up a little bit more. You can tell Max is trying to switch it up. Make Justin Gaethje think a little bit more before throwing the leg kick. Ooh, Justin Gaethje attempt a high kick, a high roundhouse kick to the head. So 3-0 Max Holloway, man. Now we're getting to that dangerous water for Justin Gaethje, man. What do you guys got? Straight 3-0? Let me see what everyone says on. Do a quick Twitter. $30.27 Max Holloway. Holloway's operating. Max Holloway's flowing like water, high level. Oh, seems like my camera. Let me see if my camera needs a little break. Holloway seems to have really scouted Gaethje well. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing, man. I hit X for Twitter's full of drama. It's always full of drama. I try not to get into it. That's why I don't tweet. All right, so we're in the 4th round. About 30 seconds in. Seems like Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje's right now. It's a competitive start. Justin's probably has to know that he's behind, so he needs to add a little bit more pressure, take a little bit more risks, and try to get a little bit more off. Ooh, good left-right exchange by Justin Gaethje right there. Right now is a good start. Add a little bit more pressure on Max. All right, Gaethje's starting to do level changes. Going a little bit high, going a bit low to make Max think. Oh, but that level change cost him because Max Holloway landed a good uppercut while Justin Gaethje was trying to feint. Good left-right again by Justin Gaethje. Seems like Justin Gaethje's kind of found a home for that left-right combo. All right, they're doing front snapping kicks. Ooh, good lead left jab to Max. Justin Gaethje seems like he's made a huge adjustment in this. Max is tagging the body a little bit. Justin Gaethje's starting to put a little bit more oomph into his shots and take a lot more risk and not hesitate. You know, Max is definitely putting some good shots together. Leaping left, right. Another jab. Max Holloway's starting to pick him apart a little bit now. Right to the body. This is a great round. This is a good round. They're starting to exchange at this moment. Oof. Good right kick by Justin Gaethje. You can always count on Justin Gaethje to do leg kicks, man. This is a good round. I don't know who to score at the moment right now. About halfway through the 4th round. Knockout. Oh, yeah, he did say the 4th round. I mean, look, Justin is definitely putting himself in a lot of dangerous position. Good left hook. Good jab. Justin Gaethje's starting to put a little bit more oomph, more effort into this fight. Oof. This is a great round. These guys are actually tit for tat at this point. I'm still feeling from the previous round, Justin Gaethje's not wearing the shots as well as Max because Max is clear more fresher. Good knee. Max Holloway with a leaping knee. His pace is crazy. Good pace, man. Max is pushing this fight, making Justin Gaethje work. You can already see that, Justin Gaethje's barely getting in double digits. And it's, Max Holloway. Did he trip? Did he go down from a shot? Uh-oh. Justin Gaethje's starting to land some good right hooks. I don't know if Max is hurt or he's just kind of just trying to regain himself from the trip. It's a tough fight. Starting to feel a little bit of the effects of them leg kicks are starting to come in on Max. Max is not as agile and able to get out. You can see he kind of like hobbles a little bit to side, and he kind of only goes back. He's relying on trying to counter. So them leg kicks are there, and now Justin Gaethje's able to kind of walk down a little bit. Just a little bit. Good left kick to the body from Justin Gaethje. Maybe Max is just taking, a couple breathers, resting a little bit. A little pause in the action. Justin Gaethje paused the jab. Good left hook over Max's right. Justin's starting to kind of get a little rhythm right now. Max is taking a little break. That was a good round, man. That was a good round. You can give that round to either or. 0 takedowns, man. My favorite MMA fights. The takedown list MMA fights. All right. This is a good fight. That was a great round. High level. Good poise. Variety. Witness the hoax. ZZZ. You ain't a fan of the UFC, man? Or are you talking about the Jared Anderson fight right now? Because Jared right now is in the 3rd round. He's starting to walk the cruiserweight down a little bit. Landing his shots, throwing some combination jabs, right? Walking him down. Got him in the corner, right, left. Picking his shots. Ryad Merhy don't even look like he's been trying. This fight might be over soon. Jared's just having his way, just hopping around him. Yeah, I can't really see that fight going on too much longer. American from Toledo, Ohio, man, got Ryad Merhy in the corner again. Good left hook to the body. Yeah, man. Damn, imagine how their sore faces are gonna be. Yo, that's a good fight, man. This is a great UFC fight. Jared over here just beating the shit out of Ryad Merhy. So, all right, we're in the 5th round now, right? Justin Gaethje's landing some good jabs at the moment. Max Holloway with a right kick attempt next. Right kick to the body by Max Holloway. Good left hook by Justin Gaethje. Max Holloway swings and tries to counter with his left, and Justin Gaethje misses. I'm really highly impressed with Max Holloway. We're in the 5th round, and Max Holloway is doing his thing. Oh, another spinning kick by Max Holloway as a response to getting caught with a right hand by Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's really putting a lot of pressure on here. I don't know if his corner's told him, like, you're losing a fight, so you really need to kind of really add some more emphasis to this. So maybe the urgency is there, and Max is putting on a good performance. I know both these guys are tired, but at the same time, it doesn't even look like it. These guys have engines. These guys are going. I mean, it's high pace, constantly throwing every second. Like, this is a high cardio match. Max Holloway takes this home. If he makes it out this round, I don't blame you. Max Holloway is a minus 345, so the bookies clearly have it a landslide for Max Holloway at this point. So it's not even a question who's winning the fight and who's going to win the fight. Just as long as... Oh, a good right hand rocks Justin Gaethje. Oh, bro, he's beating the dog shit out of Justin Gaethje. Okay, yeah, it's over. Max Holloway is about to stop Justin Gaethje. You got him hurt. You got him against the cage, going to the body. Justin Gaethje swinging to the fences now. Max Holloway's just picking his shots. He's being patient. He knows he got a wounded animal. He's slowly walking to him. Another spinning back kick to the body. Or side kick, to be correct. Justin Gaethje definitely looks lost. He definitely looks hurt. He's trying to get a little bit back into the middle of the ring so that he does not get his back against the cage so he can't move. But Max is putting pressure back on him. You were close, Coyote. If he stops him, you're right, but just off by a round. But I'll still give it to you, man. Max Holloway barely misses with the right hand. You know, maybe Max is taking a little break. He did throw a lot in that exchange. And plus, he knows Justin Gaethje does have power, so he's just being respectful, cautious, doesn't want to get too over-eager. Don't want to walk into nothing crazy. Another spinning side kick from Max Holloway. At this point, Justin Gaethje just needs to find a home run shot. Or even maybe do a takedown attempt. Because usually in MMA, what you see is that when a guy can't really fight on stand-up, they go for a takedown attempt. And there's been 0 takedown attempts. Is Max Holloway trying to get like a highlight spinning side kick to the body stoppage? Because he's done this like 4 times. Max Holloway takes this home. Max Holloway, the official BMF. Now I can afford some more eggs. What type of eggs? You're getting the... what do you call them now? It's like the bougie, healthier eggs. Pasteurized eggs. You got money for pasteurized eggs now. Oh my God, what a 2-piece. Max is making this pretty. You know what's so crazy about Max Holloway is that this dude has so many insane performances even after he loses. It's like, this dude has like almost 3 eras. And this is the 3rd era of Max Holloway. Like, it's incredible what this dude is doing. You know, Max Holloway would essentially be like the first guy to be a world champion and a BMF. Like, in sync, right? Ten times more protein. Bald eagle eggs. You're funny, Coyote, man. 10 times more protein. I got about 30 seconds on my stream, and Max Holloway looks comfortable. He's doing leaping knee kicks. Justin Gaethje needs to put a lot more into this man because he has to know he's down. I don't know what Justin Gaethje just tried to do right there, but center the ring, last 7 seconds. Max Holloway points to the ground saying, let's go. They're throwing blows side by side. Oh! What the what? What did I just watch? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, Coyote. Yo, Coyote. He pointed. Max told Justin, step in the center. 10 seconds left. We're going to throw it out. Literally a second left. He sleeps Justin. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. I'm sorry. That had to have been one of the most craziest knockouts I've ever seen. Not gonna lie. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I am completely in awe. I'm still so speechless. I'm sorry. I gotta make Twitter reactions for that. That was absolutely insane. That was wild. That was literally the most wild thing I've seen all year. Holy moly. Bear with me right now. I am making Twitter videos for the reactions to that. So I'm here and my head's gonna be I'm working on videos right now, but I don't know how on earth anyone who saw that is not completely shocked and speechless. That was absolutely insane. I'm just putting together like a Twitter reaction. Is that the craziest finish you guys ever seen, if not one of them? Holy shit. Armor plays, why are you watching UFC? Because if you just saw that knockout, Armor, you would totally understand. That was the craziest knockout, period. Ain't nothing gonna top that tonight. And plus it's FightHype. We cover everything. Are you the owner of FightHype? I am not the owner of FightHype. The owner of FightHype is Ben Thompson. I'm one of the many guys here. We're just doing a kick it show. Just UFC a little bit, UFC 300. I'm not a fan of UFC, to be honest. It's cool, it's straight. We got Jared Anderson. We got the Jared Anderson thing going on. Just wrestling, in my opinion. So wait. Oh, that's what you're saying. No, I'm telling you right now, Armor Plates. I don't mean to, like. I'm telling you right now. If you can go watch, Google Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. I'm telling you, just watch that fight. There was not a single takedown attempt. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm telling you right now, I know Dana's pissed off for paying $600. Yo, he's gonna have to pay for that fight, bro. Oscar De La Hoya, what you missed was literally 5 rounds of great performance from Max Holloway. He points in the middle of the octagon, last 10 seconds. Last second, sleeps Justin Gaethje. Sleeps Justin Gaethje. I'm telling you right now, at the buzzer, like a 3-point shot, game-winning shot. It became a kickboxing match. Yeah, the Oliveira fight was rough, bro. That fight was rough. That Max Holloway fight, that was a buzzer beater knockout. Like, I might make that the title. Like give that man all the bonuses. Like, Dana needs to just open up his wallet and just pull out all the bonuses. Like, I am completely speechless on that. That is like one of the most badass highlights ever. Yeah. That was the most... I'm in awe. That was your historic KO, for sure. That was literally one of the greatest finishes. Like... I wish I was able to have that clipped, because I just didn't see that coming. That was insane. That was fucking insane. UFC's opening up locations worldwide. UFC can take control of boxing right now if they play their cards right. Armor play, I'm just, and all that boxing going to Saudi Arabia and shit, and UFC doing. I'm telling you right now, man. That boy, I was entertained. What did you miss? One of the greatest knockouts of this year. One of the greatest epic buzzer beater knockout. Like, see, like, shit like that makes you sit there and go, like, if you are not a fan of UFC, you're a fan of that. So that was crazy. I don't even know how to put that in words. Oscar La Coca. Literally just Google Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. Tim gave Ryan a shout out. 100. I know by your answer if you're a casual. Who is the best boxer right now? I mean, it's subjective, right? Like, you got a lot of guys. I mean, I favor between Terrence and Inoue, right? I mean, that's an easy 1A, 1B. You know, I'm a little more privy to Terrence, but you could be a fan of Usyk, right? I think Devin's not there yet, but, you know, he has the potential to. It's a lot of guys, you know, that are pound for pound guys. But who I think is like pound for pound is between Terrence and Inoue. And I'm not mad at either or. Yeah, I gotta get this video out, man. That shit was crazy, man. Inoue, the hype job? Yeah, he belongs up to. I mean, I got Terrence. Like, I'm a Terrence guy. I got Terrence's pound for pound. You know what I mean? But I respect Inoue, because I've been watching him since the beginning of his fight, and I understand like his journey is a little different. But I made a prediction a while ago that I think Inoue can go up to 122 and fight Stephen Fulton, which I have a good level of respect for, and that if he was able to beat Stephen Fulton, then I believe that he was able to warrant my respect. So, all right. Oh, I got my friends there. I got the actual footage. You guys, hold on. Oh my God, that shit was crazy. Yeah, I gotta throw this up. Respect for picking Bud to go. At least Anderson didn't cry like a little bitch on camera in the build-up this time. Damn, Dave Tricks. Savage. Coyote, the knockout was like Pacquiao and Manuel, bro. Flipped hard. That shit was bad, bro. That shit was bad. That shit was bad. That shit was badass, really. Holy moly. Let me see. How do I put this on here? There we go. Since you are a media, do you get seats for free? I mean, we work them, right? I mean, let's see. Yeah, so, I mean, he give us fight seats. So, I think the last fight I was at the I was at Richardson Hitchens. But I was at the Tim Tszyu fight, Fandora. So, we cover it. We go, we do interviews. They get us seats. We go in there. And then after that, we talk to them. And so the correction is, yeah. How did FightHype hire you? I met the owner at a Terrence Crawford. I was working for another outlet. And I met him at a Terrence Crawford and Amir Khan fight. But yeah, just as simple, just reach out. You know? You can reach out. Oh, okay, let me cut this out right there. Let me put this here. All right, sorry, I'm just putting a video, the crowd reaction. I'll play it in here. I got the crowd reaction after that crazy knockout. Moments after. All right, next fight's Zhang Weili. So I got a crowd reaction to that fight I'm putting up right now. What about Benavidez? I think Benavidez has the potential to be like a pound for pound fighter, right? I mean, he's young, he's growing into the sport. I think he needs a couple more fights. Obviously, winning a fight against Canelo is going to put him for sure in there. So, no rush. I think Dave is great. You know, I know that there's been a lot of criticism about him fighting guys a little bit smaller than him and hasn't fought the opposition to really prove he's one of the best. There's a lot of eye tests. So I like David Benavidez, but the opportunity has to be there. And if he can just get a Canelo fight, or even better, personally, as a fight fan, if he can go to 175 and capture an undisputed fight and beat the winner Beterbiev and Bivol, I mean, he don't need Canelo to prove to me. He is a good. Thank you, Al Heyman. Hey, man. I appreciate Al Heyman, man. Al Heyman has created great fights. I know there's been criticism, stuff like that, but I appreciate all promoters, man. Wait, I can't hear you, boss. Wait, hold on. Can't hear me? My bad. What do you looking people to hire? A little bit of everything. You gotta know your boxing. You gotta know how to use equipment. You gotta be readily available, hunger, drive, because you know a lot of these fighters, they don't necessarily want to speak to us, so you have to build your own relationships. Mirror should be banned from main events at this fight, bro. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm a boxing guy, but this is a rough main event. Like, I don't know how anyone can come in here and say, yo, why are you watching UFC? You know, and I'm not saying it's that fault of Jared Anderson. You know what I mean? You know, Mary don't even look like he's even trying. But then again, he's a cruiserweight coming up against what potentially is the best American heavyweight, who's talented, moves swift, like so. But I'm not really watching it as much. But D, this is probably a pretty rough fight, huh? Well, come over on the UFC side, my guy. All right, I'm gonna give my camera a quick little break, real quick, because I think it's getting a little hot. I'm gonna throw a little dummy cartoon up. How did the interview go for you to get hired? It wasn't like a hiring spot because of like something that I did to do it. It was kind of like I was already in the industry, so I kind of like shifted over. But there's a lot of like channels out there that's looking for work and things like that. So, you know, you can reach out, kind of like an internship to like many different places and kind of like, hey, look, I'm looking for such and such and would totally love an opportunity. And so, yeah, and do something like that, you know? Because that's kind of what I did, you know what I mean? I kind of just went and kind of like interned at a spot. Sorry, I'll play the video. This crowd was lit. I'm still trying to come down from this Justin Gaethje knockout loss. Oh yeah, what am I doing? I'm making a thumbnail. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm working on a video right now. UFC 300 is a special once every century type event. Max Holloway, Space Ghost Perp. That's two fights been crazy. Now the Chinese Assassins next. Yo, please tell me, Space Ghost, you saw that in real time. That knockout, dude. Tell me that was not one of the best knockouts that you've ever seen. Like, by far. Not even a question. Not even a question. Seconds. Max. seconds after Max Holloway. I'm just kind of putting together a title as we speak. Yeah, because good at making viral moves on multiple platforms. Anderson versus Smart 2 would have been better at than this. Is FightHype the same as FightHype? Nope. Jump out of my seat. 1 second left is unbelievable. Dude, that was... I'm trying to post this video of my buddy who was there. Max Holloway, seconds after knocking out Justin Gaethje. His crowd reaction to the fight. Justin Gaethje and buzzer beater knockout. UFC 300. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so a little bit. Oh, what's up? Let's see. Johnny Williams. No way Sean's calling a fight on a personal page. Shout out to Big Baby getting work. I heard skills pay the bills. The great reincarnated Jared Anderson. What's up, Johnny Williams? Yeah, Sean went his separate ways. All love, nothing personal. I appreciate you kind of coming here and not starting ruckus, right? No, but everyone has their own path, right? You know, and people have to go their own ways and have their own journey. So I wish Sean the best, you know. That dude was my partner out here in Vegas. And so at the end of the day, it's all love, you know. Every once in a while you might hear someone come in and kind of razz me about that, and, you know, it might annoy me. But it's not because of him, but just how people don't understand that dynamics of people partying in peaceful manners. So, in all respect and all, you know, out of all personal respect to him, I'm happy for him. So just, he's doing his own journey, you know. Everyone has to do their own thing. But that's all. Yep, so he's doing that. I'm over here doing the UFC shout out. UFC 300. Wow, this Jared Anderson fight's about to end in like probably 3 minutes. But yeah, Jared Anderson's doing his thing, man. No fault of his own. Fight seems very anticlimactic. It'd be nice for him to get the stoppage, but, you know, Jared looks like Jared, so I would have to watch it a little bit more to dissect for criticism, but right now I can only imagine he's winning this fight. Are you able to be biased in the interview? I mean, our goal is not to be biased, right? I mean, we don't really tell people how to do interviews, and we don't a big misconception here. Let me get my camera back on because I just gave it a rest for a second because I think it was overheating. The big misconception that happens a lot of times with media and things like that is that people always think like we have to like kiss their ass and do all these type of things for, you know, all access and all that stuff. It's not true. Everyone has their own personal relationships, right? Like, I don't bend down for nobody, right? Like, I don't. So I do what I feel like, and I ask the questions I feel like, and no one puts a gun to my head, and I don't have a manuscript of questions I have to ask. It doesn't work like that. So by all means, you technically can be biased, but you're probably not going to be the best interviewer, you know, because you're going to probably alienate your relationships. Or you're just going to kind of have like a one-sided interview, which personally I'm not always about. Damn, never knew he left. Yeah, he left on his own terms, Coyote. So how do you feel about those biased YouTube channels that race bait boss? Like, you know, I don't like to speak on other channels because, like, I don't like other people to speak on me, right? So it's out of respect. I don't have anything negative about anybody, and some of those people I know personally and some I don't. And really, at the end of the day, it's that how I look at it is more that covers boxing, good or bad, helps boxing, because we need as much coverage as possible because we're a niche sport, right? And it's up to the viewers to determine what they like and what they want. And, you know, everyone has truth in what they say, right? There's not a channel that doesn't have some truth in it, but there could be some channels that might have a certain specific importance in what they want to get across. So I don't knock anybody in the spectrum. I don't have an opinion on anyone in the spectrum. And because it's like, obviously I wouldn't want anyone given an opinion that doesn't warrant outside of just, hey, good interview or whatnot, or, you know, it's just, there needs to be content creators, right? Some of it's entertainment, and some of it's truth. Some of the stuff those guys say is truth, you know. And the most important thing is everyone's entitled to an opinion, and you're allowed to disagree, and that's what makes boxing great or combat sports great. It's because at the end of the day, none of that matters until they get in the octagon or the ring. Because the only thing that's the truth is what happens in that ring. So we can talk and have all these type of stuff, but it doesn't matter until they fight, right? Because really that's what we care about: who wins, what guy's better, blah 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 blah, right? So what's the hard about doing your job? I think it's just like any job, right? You have to be consistent. So there's some days better than others that you don't feel like doing. There's a lot of times where, you know, you deal with politics yourself. You know, any type of relationship. I'm sure you've had relationships like when you work from bosses or your peers and things like that. So just take your normal day to day. Like, it's a job, right? So if you're like in a sales job, you're gonna have to go out there and get a quota, right? So in our field, as a content creator more than an interviewer, you have to create content, right? So some months are better than others. Some fights might help create content. It could be low, like tonight, right? I'm doing a UFC 300. We're primarily a boxing channel, but we do combat sports. So because of that, we got to improvise, right? We got to do things to create content, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's like I got 30 people in this live doing a UFC 300 live. Like, it's not popping, right? But in all honesty, it's like that's the hard part, where you have to kind of continue to kind of create. And some days are easier and some days are better. And you know, obviously the relationships too, when you work with other fighters too, is you know, they're human, right? And you might have questions that you want to ask, right? Because fighters tend to get criticized all the time by the smallest, stupidest shit ever. That's out of their control. Why are you fighting this guy and not this guy? Maybe I can't get the fight. Maybe this promoter. Why are you fighting in this town? Or, you know, why didn't you do this in the fight? So we have to ask these type of questions so that the fans can get some clarity. But at the same time, like, what's your relationship with that fighter? You know, you have to not have people skills to maintain that relationship. Not even like you have to be friends, but just when they see you, they're not like, oh, this fucking dickhead, right? This complete asshole wants to come up and just be a complete fuck. So there's a lot of elements to it, but I enjoy what I do. So I can say all this stuff to quote unquote sound like I'm complaining, but I'm blessed. It's just another day in the office, how I look at it. Bayside boxing, brilliant answer. You got my vote. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I hate the fact that, like, when people try to look at other channels and try to say, like, there's no truth you can find in it, right? There's truth in everything, right? You just have to weed out some of the stuff that you can. Oh, shit. Bear with me. The UFC 300 Will.i Zhang fight, the two girls from China. This is the first Chinese versus Chinese, right? This is, like, a big deal. Two women fighters and they're both strikers. This is already exciting. And Will.i Zhang looks like she's already in a little bit of trouble. You're good with your words? Nah, I appreciate it. I'm just a little tired. I'm just speaking out of my heart, right? How do you do it? Have you guys got kicked out before asking a certain type of question a fighter with a different media company? I've never personally got kicked out, right? I mean, I've had fighters that may have not wanted to talk to me at that specific time, or maybe not want to done an interview, but I've never got kicked out, you know. I try not to be a dick, right? I'm not trying to be an asshole reporter. I'm not trying to create controversy. I'm just trying to, like, build up fights, hype up fights, get people to be interested in the fights, and sometimes some of those questions might come off like a little instigating, but that's what fight build-ups are, right? Are you gonna fight this guy? You think you could beat this guy? This guy said this, right? So, but no, I've never got kicked out. Nah, and I hope I don't. You know what I mean? I hope I don't offend people, because what people say in my interviews is not what I say. So don't fault that on me. But we're in the first round, 2 minutes in. It looked like a little scrap. And the Jared Anderson fight's over. It looked like Jared's going to go the distance and win that fight. So, you know, this fight is actually scrappy, boy. I thought Will.i Zhang was going to, you know, I kind of been a little off. You know, I've seen Yan's performances, and Will.i Zhang's usually devastating when she kind of, like, fights these girls and she like dominates them. But I've always been questionable about her ability with a long, lanky, solid striker that's patient and doesn't fear her, like the Rose Namajunas fight. And Yana looks like she's doing exactly a little page out of that book. So this is a tough fight. Zhang's in a fight. Oh, I think you said, I forgot to answer your other question. Who's the most famous person you met so far? I interviewed them all, like Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd, Roy Jones, Sugar Ray Leonard. Damn, Willie Zhang is looking kind of rough in this fight. She got, I think, dropped by Yan right there. Yan. Well, Terrence, Canelo. Lots of guys, you know, Andre Ward, Broner, you know, I got a lot underneath my belt. Been doing this for a while, so I appreciate the help of the people, you know, allowing me to get this opportunity. You know, Ben Thompson, specifically the owner, who's the main guy for FightHype. Yeah, Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson's the owner of the platform. He started this a long time ago, and spinning back fist attempt from Zhang. I'm sorry, that caught me off guard. Damn, I'm supposed to be doing another video, but yeah, I need to get to that. Wow, Holly Home Desktop. Holloway's a beast. Yeah, I gotta make fighters react to that shit. That shit was great. But yeah, you know, Ben Thompson started this a long time ago, and he came from other places, and he's been building this a long time, and because of that hard work he put in, gave us a platform to be able to work, and very grateful, you know what I mean? Like, having this little live, I'm just working on videos and kicking it with you guys and just watching some fights and just chatting, having you guys get to know me. It's dope, man, you know, and it's built off of everyone who's worked at FightHype, you know, collectively. You know, this platform will continue to be built, and everyone who's been here and walked through, very grateful, because it helped contribute us being the biggest boxing outlet, you know, from views and subs, so I really appreciate it. Who's the most professional boxer you interviewed? Like, very, like, clean-cut PR, PR friendly, is that what you mean? Like, I don't know if I understand 100% when you meant most professional. What's the most professional I've been, maybe, like, in a setting? Like, maybe try it one more time. I mean, I just don't understand the question, that's all. And right now I'm just working on a video on that fucking crazy ass knockout. Yeah. I still can't get over that. Like, if you guys haven't seen that shit was crazy. Who's the most media trained boxer? Very, like, politically correct. I mean, there's some people that just naturally, like, that's who they are. Like, genuinely good people. Like, one person I really like as a person is Bruce Shushu Carrington. People make jokes like he's, like, very media trained, but I think he's, like, generally a good person. So it'll come off sounding like he's media trained, but he's just very humble, very authentic about his beginnings and his direction in the future. And, you know, I think Shushu's a pretty good guy in that regards. Andre Ward, you know, he comes off very, like, commentary, very strong, strong opinion, but very professional in the way he comes about it. Like, he's not name calling, you know, at least the times that I've interviewed him, talked to him. So, Chris Colbert. Are you saying, is Chris Colbert the most professional? I got love for Chris Colbert because, like, I lived in New York when I first started covering boxing, and I lived in Brooklyn, so a long time ago when he was just turning pro. And I get it, the Brooklyn swag, you know. I got a great relationship with his trainer, Sosa. Like, I got a Sosa shirt somewhere in my closet. And when we first kind of did some interviews, he kind of like rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But I get it, right? I get it. And young, brashy, New York kid. So, but yeah, Chris Colbert. I mean, hopefully he can come back from that horrible knockout, dude. That and the clips of him arguing with Sosa, you know, it's just a lesson learned. You know, this is my fair criticism, right? Is that your corner's there to look out for you, man. And I never understood. I actually talked to his trainer, like, and I'm not like really wanting to reveal full conversation, but I did remember telling him on the David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant card, like, yo, this fight with Ryo is tough, bro. Not saying like Ryo is a world beater, right? Like, not saying he's the greatest fighter in the world. Maybe he could be. You know, I'm just saying that out of respect to Ryo. But you know, I'm like, this is a tough fucking fight for Chris. And I told him, and first fight, I thought it was a very controversial fight that arguably could have went to Ryo. I mean, I didn't score it, but so other than that, he didn't listen and transition from the second time. So how do you get hired from Hype Fight? Oh, you mean FightHype? I just met the owner at a Crawford Con event, and we just chatted and just stayed in touch. I was covering boxing for the Boxing Voice at the time, so, which I got a lot of love and respect for Ness too. So, damn, dude, Will Zane is beating the dog shit out of you. Like, I'm not even like really paying attention. I'm just chatting with you guys at this point because a few of you guys in here. Yeah, she has Jan sprawled out, and she is just beating the shit out of her. Just stop it. Just stop this fight. There's no reason why this fight needs to continue. She hit this girl like 20 times on the back of her head. It's over. I don't know what the ref is fucking doing. Have you trolled any boxer with some unexpected question? Yeah, I've done some funny stuff before. I've had my share of just kind of, but it's normally when I had a relationship with 51 significant ground strikes. Valerie, is this what you're talking about? This is a joke? Because this is a joke. Hopefully you ain't talking about me, right? I'm sorry if I offended you. But hopefully you're not talking about me because this is a joke. 51 unanswered strikes. Oh, this is disgusting. Yeah, she's not fighting back. Okay, right? Yeah, this is terrible. This is nothing. There's nothing to commentate. She landed 51 shots on the back of her, like, and now she's trying to do a submission attempt. Yeah, no. That shit's stupid. It almost reminds me of the time when Valentina Shevchenko landed like 100 and something shots to this poor girl's head, and the ref just stared at her like, "Everything okay? You're in there? Can you hang in there a little bit?" Like, no, ref. And this fight, Jan managed to get up on her feet, but dude, why? If she knocks her out on some Max Holloway shit, then I'll shut up. But Zhang is just relentless. Like, I don't know how Jan was able to get up. Do you guys get copyrighted often? No, because we essentially use our footage. I mean, unless we like, I don't know, it's reckless or something, but no. Because we create our own content as content creators. So we try to avoid that. We don't want that. Or you guys have a guy on the ringside. We don't film the fights. We film everything but the fights because we don't have the rights to the fight. Fighters react to Max. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know how that girl survived that. Like, if you guys just saw that, 51 unanswered, like 51-0, just beating the crap out of her. I don't know what the refs saw to have that fight continue to go on. That was crazy. Max, okay, here we go. Max Holloway, I gotta get a good thumbnail of Max Holloway smashing, like just clipping Justin Gaethje. Just in case you might have died. What a finish. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I need a good picture. What do you think about Ryan? I think Ryan's a great prospects contender, but you know, him coming on fighting Devin, I mean, he has to be on his, I don't know, immaculate. Like, I don't see Ryan beating Devin. Like, no disrespect to Ryan and his capabilities, because they're there. He's able to knock anybody out. It's boxing, but dude, he's definitely not in the right place. Just like you said, Armor Plate, he's out of place. I mean, he took break. I know he's out here supporting his brother in Vegas, but he needs to lock in, man. And you know, I seen his parents out yesterday, and I saw Ryan at the press conference, and you know, he looks like he's having a good time, but he needs to lock in. Because I'm not saying that Devin is the best fighter on planet Earth of all time, but that's what Devin's trying to be. And we won't know until the end of his career. And Ryan's just a guy that's in his way. And it just seems like Devin just has so much more to offer. Dude, this Yan fight is crazy. Did Yan just drop her after... You know what's kind of, I wouldn't say sad, but like this fight definitely could have been a headline fight in China. Like this would have been crazy. The first Chinese versus Chinese title fight, which is warranted champion and #1 contender. I mean, I'm glad it's landing here in Vegas too as a co-main, but damn. Think about the impact it would have had like culturally over there. Oh, I found my picture. Perfect. Damn, that's an ice cold picture. Oh my god. Max really slept Justin Gaethje. Too honest. Face emojis. Yo, Will.i Zhang is terrifying, dude. She has power in both, but I think sometimes her defense is kind of reckless, don't you guys think? Like she kind of just bum rushes sometimes, and like she doesn't have like the slick defensive responsibility. Like I know she keeps her hand up and stuff like that, but she gets hit a lot. But this is a great fight. And I'm surprised that this fight continued on beyond that. Let's see. Go with this. Who's the best UFC fighter right now? I was really high on Volkanovski at a point. It's tough because like UFC's in this state now where all the champions are starting to lose, and now it's kind of getting a soft reset, right? So Volkanovski got stopped twice. Israel Adesanya lost. Sean Strickland, which I was not expecting. You know, John Jones is still there, but France is technically considered a heavyweight champ of the world, so I don't know. It's kind of resetting. It's kind of a weird state. Is UFC about to have a chin or more, so skill wise? Are you talking about like fighters? Are they gonna have chins? Mr. Quake, Islam. Fighters react to Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje buzzer beater. Punch. How come in boxing when you take a loss you're a bum, but in UFC you have multiple losses and get respected? It's a pretty simple thing, right? UFC has like essentially like a monopoly of the the market, right? So they're able to force fighters to fight each other to prove each other, right? And they kind of have the big market value. Oh, my leg almost cramps. So think about this. Like, boxing spends so much time with fighters on different promotional companies, on different type of networks, which ends up leading things to be drawn out longer than they should. So at a certain point, the time frame for certain fights to get made takes a very, very, very long period of time. And so once a fighter finally gets that fight and they lose, you know, it's kind of like the anticipation was just a build up for that fight. And I think what a lot of fighters can hope for after the Mayweather era of, like, you know, the undefeated thing, right, has played an influence in it. But, you know, can't pin it on Floyd, but Floyd definitely has played a part. Andre Ward has played a part. And let's say Terrence Crawford retired. The traditional undefeated fighters, you know, it's starting to be more important in boxing. And UFC, it doesn't really matter because the number one guy versus the number two guy, the loser of that will face the number three guy. And then if he beats that guy, like, you get the respect, right? Boxing, there's a formula where if the number one, number two eventually fight each other, the loser then kind of takes a little break, while the number three guy may want to fight one of those two, but they're not going to want to fight them because they're understanding that the business market is that if I fight this guy, unless it's worth money, so be it. UFC don't pay these guys like an inflated amount of money, so they actually fight for their money. And because they fight for their money, their tough fights are their money fights. Boxing, not so much. You can have a money fight that doesn't really make it the toughest fight for your career. So your quality of opposition is actually going to be the reason why you make money in UFC. Now, boxing does also reward that same idea of quality opponents versus quality opponents because that's how big fights happen, right? But at the end of the day, you don't have to take tough fights after tough fights after tough fights. You know, if you win a very tough fight and you become that marquee star, you're able to take kind of like a break here and two and still make a good purse. While UFC, you can't take, they don't let you take an easy fight for your money. They kind of force it. And because they don't pay you these inflated amount of monies, and you want money and you want to continue, and it kind of aligns the idea of legacy and money are synonymous, that's perfect. So they're similar, but it's just like UFC just has a monopoly. So you can do things when you have a monopoly in a sport. You can dictate stuff a little bit more. Boxing is like so many promotional companies. What up, Brad? Appreciate you dropping in. We just kicking in, just watching the UFC 300 co-main right now. So, aw snap. What you guys see in this Jared Anderson fight? I was glued into the UFC 300 fight. So, you know, I didn't really watch. I saw Abdullah Mason do his thing. That's my guy. Abdullah is the future of the lightweight division. I don't care what nobody says. Call it bias. Maybe I am, but I like what I like. Abdullah Mason looked great. But I was watching a little bit. What do you feel was the problem? You feel like Jarrett wasn't pressing the fight too much? Do you feel like his opponent just wasn't there doing what he wanted? Like, what did you want to see? You know? Is it your first live? No, I think this is like my 6th or 7th live. I'm starting to go live now, you know? You know, it's the thing. I was going to start going live a few months ago, but some things have happened, so. But, yeah, I'm just starting some lives and just kind of kicking it with you guys, though. But I'm going to be going live next week on the Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, topics all weeks. You know, it's going to probably be some morning shows, some stuff like that. Probably get some fighters. We do some talk show stuff. Jared Anderson got wobbled at the end of the last round. I saw a little bit of like him going back on the ropes, but I didn't actually see it. Like he actually got wobbled, like he actually got caught. It's not good, man. It's not good. You know? He was coming forward and chasing Ryad, dude. Yeah, maybe he was trying to force it. You know? I'll have to spend a little bit more time and peep it out. You know, I know Jared Anderson's been kind of going through some stuff personally. You know, he's having a baby, which I think is kind of putting some pressure. The loss, I mean, the things and the car stuff you've seen. And, you know, everyone's been kind of a little concerned about his mindset and where his head's at in boxing, right? And, you know, I interviewed him recently and kind of asked him, like, does he feel like there's a double standard? Because boxers have said similar things like something like, I want to keep my faculties and things like that. So he does feel like there is a double standard, and because he's been transparent about it, I don't know if he regrets it, but his goal is to just make money and get out of the sport. So what do you think about Devin making Ryan fight as a religion war? It's fighting, right? As much as there's like, just so you guys know, Will I Zhang is attempting to choke out Yan. If you guys are interested, UFC 300 has a lot of control of this fight. She's gonna win this fight, yeah. So unless Yan knocks him out, but it's boxing, dude. Nothing's off limits. It's an ugly sport, right? Nothing, talking about religion, race, politics, family, personal life. That's always been a thing in boxing. So, am I a fan about that period? No. But do I understand? It's boxing. It's war. All is fair in love and war. So, if it's fair game, you know what I mean? I'm not a fan of it outside of boxing, but I understand. So, which fight, in your opinion, would be bigger, Canelo versus David or Tank versus Devin? I think Canelo versus David. Only because I actually do feel like there is a multicultural fan base in that fight, and the thing is, there's always been criticism, right? I'm half black, so there's always been criticism, kind of saying like when two black fighters fight, they don't typically sell. And in this case, Canelo and David are both Hispanic fighters, right? One, they're both Mexican, right? Have Mexican descent. So you would sit and wonder why would this fight be bigger than the other? And I think strictly because I think that there is a little bit more of a supportive base and more like all around. And I could be wrong, right? Tank is already, clearly a star, but Canelo with the right dance partner eclipses Tank at this moment, right? So he's still the face of boxing, right? He's still the quote unquote face of boxing when things are done right. And when things aren't done right, then Tank is the face of boxing when things are done right in his case, right? I.e. Tank and Ryan did astronomical numbers. But when Canelo fought Triple G at that time, I know it's a few years, back then, different, times, right? And promotional companies, networks can help also push and sell fights. But I think with the right dance partner, with Canelo being such a global star, right? Being in the ring with Floyd Mayweather and being tied with Oscar De La Hoya and all these type of big marketing companies and sponsors, that he has a strong fandom and a strong allure. So when you get him with an opponent where people feel that he can legitimately lose, and they got guys calling him the Mexican monster, the hip hop black community definitely is involved into the David Benavidez side. Like, they definitely are into it. I think it just has a little bit more right now. Now, in due time, Tank and Devin, when it finally hits the time where it's worth it to fight, can that be bigger than Canelo and David? Absolutely. I think Devin is a tremendous fighter. I think they have a similar audience, and because of that, you're kind of almost putting your hand in the same type of pot, right? And so I don't know if that fight itself branches out yet, if they find out. But that's why a fight like with Devin fighting Ryan Garcia helps that. Certain fights might not be the most desirable fights for fans, right? I think a lot of fans might criticize the idea that Devin and Ryan's not a competitive fight. But it's a fight that needs to get made. So when he fights Tank, right? This is the same opponent that Tank fought, right? Tank fought him and did 1 point, reported 1.2, which might have been possibly anywhere from 800,000 on other people's sources. But regardless, it did well. And so that fight was made to help grow Tank's fandom. And Tank hasn't reached a household name like Canelo yet. But when he does, and Devin's able to become someone who can bring something to the table, then that fight becomes huge. And now we can start talking about, does it become bigger than Canelo and David Benavidez, But I think David and Canelo has a fight on a collision course that kind of is probably going to set not just the boxing world, but culturally, especially Mexico, right? it's a lot of subcultural topics that are entered in that fight by being a mixed Mexican American, and then you're a Mexican fighter who doesn't typically look like the normal Mexican out there by being the red hair, lighter skin. So I mean, there's so many intricate things that fight just alone kind of creates a lot of diverse tension, but also support on both ends. Sorry, I don't know. I sound like a politician there. Mexicans love seeing Mexicans fight each other. I feel like that happens a little bit more. Like I hear a lot more people say that there's a lot more support in that versus black. And you get the Hagler, Hearns, Ali, Frazier conversation involved in, and but even with Ali and Frazier, there was like a racial division in that fight, where at that social time that Ali was very like pro-black, Black Panther, Nation of Islam, and he painted out Joe Frazier as like an Uncle Tom, which eventually got the support of the blue collar or white collar working white American to support him. So even though there was two black men, it was still a racial division fight, which led to a diverse market of people wanting to watch the fight. And at that point, it was somewhat a kind of ugly concept to think, because Ali's calling this black man, Joe Frazier, Uncle Tom, right? And that is where it's kind of getting to the point where I'm saying like that kind of has some of those elements, I think, in the like the David Benavidez Canelo fight. I think there's a lot of intricate elements in there, not specifically pointing at race, but there's things in that fight that in subculture has a lot of marketing push towards. So, Canelo versus Plant to 700K, no one knew Plant, just imagine him. That's what I'm saying. I think David Benavidez and Canelo is just going to be just one of those fights that's just like something like Triple G, where it's just going to be massive. I don't think Tank will ever fight Haney or God. They might not. They're in a catch-22 because, like, if you're trying to be fair, right, and you're not trying to be biased, but if you understand both sides, you're like, all right, Tank has fought at 140, and Devin obviously has outgrown 135. So if you want to get a credible win, right, you need to go to 140 and fight Devin when he's comfortable. But at the same time, Devin, who's significantly bigger than Tank, right? And I mean that like rehydration weight, right? And I know people say Tank might blow up too because it's stocky, but we know that Devin is in his second weight class and Tank would be entering his fourth weight class. So is it fair then to say that Devin's fighting Tank at his best, right? So they're in a catch-22, which means a catch weight. And are they going to do a catch weight? Probably not, because Tank is going to want to call the shots, because as he should. As the A side, you demand certain things. So they would have to negotiate to a fight where they both agree, where fans can't discuss or dispute or argue or debate because they signed and agreed to it. So unless they come to some sort of terms, I don't think they're going to fight each other, because what's good for one is not good for the other. And if you're really trying to be fair, then you would understand that Tank going to 140 is unfair to Tank, and Devin going down to 135 is unfair to Devin. So they got to come to terms and figure out what's fair for them. They just have there are two different weight classes, but won't compromise. Exactly. And it's unfortunate because if they don't fight, then it's just like, it's similar like an Aaron Price, Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Two great fighters that could have possibly gave us a good fight that just never existed, Wouldn't be the first time it happens. And I think that at some point at this, we just might have to let certain fights go. We have this perspective in our mind that fights have to get made because they were in the same weight class at once upon a time. But at the end of the day, that's like saying, I don't know, Terrence Crawford has to fight, Pitbull, right? I mean, that sounds exciting. Don't get me wrong, but they're just different parts of their careers and their life, and so it's a dream fight. It's a great fight, and and the sad thing is, like, if Devin fights at 135, you'll have to want to favor Tank, right? And then if Tank fights at 140, you might favor Devin, And so at that point, based on how the fight gets made, determines who might win the fight. And so at that point, what's fair, right? Tank versus Pitbull should happen. As a fan, yes, but as a business, I don't think it would. And I know it sounds crazy because, yeah, Pitbull has a great audience. He brought a lot of fans out to the Rolly fight. But I think Tank has other bigger fights in his mind, and going to Pitbull might be a potential step back, you know? And I know you're like, what? But Frank Martin, you know, we were fighting Frank Martin. Pitbull would be a bigger fight. I'm not saying that as a... like, Pitbull wouldn't be a better option in some of the fights, but I just think that the risk and reward is just not there. Like, it's Tank. He can make big fights with a lot of people, so he can fight a nobody, essentially, make big money. And when you fight someone like Pitbull, he's going to want more money. So sometimes your opposition is based on, is your opponent willing to take less so you can make more? That's sometimes how fights get made in boxing. I mean, Bud has an ego by not fighting anyone unless it's millions. Well, he's been making millions for years, so I can't see him not make millions in a fight. That's the first thing. But, like, an astronomical amount of millions is what you're saying. Like, it's, you know, it's his prerogative. I can't tell what someone deserves or not. I do think, though, that what the fight fans want to see is him fight Jaron Ennis, because he seems to be the closest around his range, his biggest threat, optics-wise. And a fight that seems that if they do get in, you know, a negotiation, that Jaron's willing to take whatever it takes to fight. So it should be an easy fight to make on Boots' end, right? But I think because Bud has been alienated from the boxing opportunities, and he's been shafted and was promised a lot of certain things, and things didn't materialize, and he felt he was entitled to, and missing the Manny Pacquiao fight, and certain fights getting dragged out, and having to do this whole entire thing, that he's kind of fed up with it. And because of that, you know, I think he has a right, and he's entitled at the point of his career to look for fights that suit him and his way. Now, sometimes those fights might please the fans, or he might get a bag in Saudi Arabia and make an astronomical amount of money for a fight that no one might have as their number one or number two option. But he has the right to deserve who he wants to fight and pick. But personally, for me, I would like to see Bud versus Boots. But I also believe that Bud deserves to pick his fights that he wants. And obviously he wants Canelo. Doesn't seem like Canelo wants it, so that ain't gonna happen. So shout out to Willie Zhang for making me look right, for winning the fight. So, and cheers from China. Can we see you eat someone? What do you even mean by that, bro? Rice? Yeah. Well, if you're from China, man, congratulations. Win or lose, you have a Chinese world champion in UFC 300. Been a big supporter of Willie Zhang. She's incredible. So, but he shouldn't be fighting nobodies, though. It's unfortunate. Terrence versus Sebastian is a mandatory no. I don't think he's gonna fight a nobody. He might not fight like the boxing darling, right? Which is Jaron Ennis, right? He might not fight a specific fighter like Keith Thurman for personal reasons, right? You blackballed me for so long. Why would I give you an opportunity? But Terrence versus Sebastian is mandatory no. It's mandated by the WBO, and we'll find out in a couple of days if it goes through. But Samson's gonna want his fighter to maximize, is what he told me when I interviewed him. That little clip that went around was me talking to him, asking about Terrence, and he's like, look, if the fight makes sense, then yeah. So they might drop the belt, right? So, and they're talking about 50-50, and now Fedora's injured, and I don't think that fight's gonna happen, because really at the end of the day, Spence was in the ring. They're gonna want to make Spence and Fedora. And if they want to make Spence Fedora, and Terrence doesn't have the backing from the promotional company, why would they support someone who's not with them? And they know that too. Team Crawford knows that too, so it's nothing crazy and new, but we'll see. Should Tank fight Bud in the future? No. Too small. I think Tank's a great fighter. I think he's a very extremely talented fighter. I know he gets criticized for not fighting the fights that present like the legacy marketable, you know, undisputed fighter of the world, but he's a good fighter. So, but Terrence is just too big. And when you add that type of skill, and I think Terrence is a more skilled fighter than Tank, one. But he's a more skilled fighter and bigger fighter, in my personal opinion. So, no, I don't want to see that fight. Tank would have to, if he ain't jumping to 140 for Devin, you want him to jump for 147, 154 for Terrence? Nah. Do you debate with boxers or fans sometimes? Yeah, I mean, it's fun, right? That's what we do. But I don't take anything personal. Everyone's entitled to have an opinion. So, Spence shouldn't get the shot. He got his butt whooped. In a perfect world, no. I would rather see Crawford fight Fedor or Tim Tszyu get a rematch. But it's politics. And sometimes who you align yourself with gets you the fights. And that's really what it's about. So, why should we help the other guy, right? Suspension. Why do Tank fans want Naoya anyway to move to fight Tank? I think it's just a fantasy fight, right? I think Tank fans, and myself included, because I'm just a fan of boxing, is that I think you see something special with these two guys, and you think you can kind of look at it and go, Manny Pacquiao went up weight classes. The smaller weight classes, their jumps aren't as drastic as the bigger guys, so they're about the same height, you know, about almost the same reach. So theoretically, why can't they be in the same weight? But body type matters. And Tank started his journey at a lot bigger weight than Inoue. So I think there's an allure to the fight, because as much as that, maybe if some people just want to see Inoue lose, or if there's like a race thing about it, I think if you really look at it, I think Tank fans generally respect Inoue as a fighter. And I think that having their guy beat a legitimate good fighter is great for their fighter. And they have confidence and faith that their fighter can beat Inoue, which I would probably favor Tank too, because size, and he's a skillful fighter. So they both punch really well, but I don't want to see that fight. It kind of has a Mayweather-Pacquiao-esque, because there's an Asian and black guy, and the Asian guy moves so much, so I get it, but Pacquiao was just different. I seen a lot of racing fans pissed over Naoya beating Fulton. There's race in everything, right? And it's like, coming from me, I'm black and Korean, so obviously either dude wins makes either side of me look like badass, right? Like Rush Hour, right? I win. I personally really love the fact that that fight happened, but you know, there could only be one winner and one loser. And I think how certain fighters are marketed creates this kind of perspective, and that perspective isn't the truth and reality. We know that, right? There's an exception to every rule. In America, or most times, you know, when you kind of see fighters are good Mexican, Hispanic fighters, good black fighters, with not a lot of white fighters, and a lot of Asian fighters don't exist in bigger ranks. So it's safe to feel that culturally, like, these fighters should dominate. And there's nothing wrong with that, because they're pretty much usually the better fighters, right? But in the lower weight classes, it's a whole different world, and there's a lot of Asians, and genetics, obviously. But at a certain point, it's kind of a little different when you're watching consistently in America a lot of black guys beat all different type of races. And then you get this shorter Asian guy who may not fit the American mold, who then sleeps your defensively slick top 15, top 20 pound for pound fighter, because I think Fulton was a great fighter going into that fight, and I don't think Fulton should be ever downplayed, because he had a very tough road to the title. He fought a guy tremendously big as hell to unify the division, as in Brandon Figueroa, and fought in a style that usually doesn't work in a fighter like him, and won in a very close contested fight. And then immediately takes on this phenomenal phenom, Naoya Inoue, which you eventually build confidence that this guy's able to do these type of things to a fighter. So, race is always going to be involved, but there should be no shame for Fulton fans seeing Inoue beating, and then if Fulton won, there's no shame of that either. I think those guys are great. Ryan versus Pitbull will go crazy. I mean, I want to see Pitbull versus Matias more than anything, right? Let me see. Yeah, I want to see Pitbull versus Matias more than anything. So, personally, that's where I'm at. All right. Cool. So we're getting ready for the main event. We're almost done for the night. UFC 300. Alex Pereira. Should be a great fight. I'm leaning towards Alex right now. So. Let me see what my boy Rick sent me. And I got my cam off for a sec because I think it's getting a little hot. So I'm letting it cool off. It's my little cartoon that my girl drew. My lady's a cool what is this? What is this? That shit was crazy. I think the style match was explosive between those two. I agree. All right, what's Jamara Hill walking out to? Oh, he's coming out to TI. Yo, if you were a fighter, what would your ring walk be? Oh man, there's so many songs I would totally walk out to, man. If I was a fighter. How long did it take you to get all this boxing knowledge? I just grew up watching boxing, armor plates. I just was in a household where my dad's favorite sport was boxing, right? Then I entered Taekwondo. My dad was police athletic. Oh, it's Drake? It's hard to tell. What song is that from? I thought it was T.I. I'm sorry. It was kind of quiet. I didn't want to put it too loud to get a copyright. What Drake song was it? Don't tell me it's like the Drake diss song. That would be kind of dope. No, I just grew up in a household of boxing fans. So, and eventually my dad did police athletically. He taught me a little bit, and just you just fall in love with a sport that's in your household. So, and I watched it every Saturday, every Friday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, whatever day it was on, and eventually just continued that knowledge from that point. I would listen to the commentaries. I would listen to people talk about boxing. I would hear the people in the gym. So it's all the same stuff. Eventually, it just regurgitates. So it's not really hard to. Everything I'm saying is nothing special or different from any other person. They might package it and make it seem like they know a lot more than people, but it's just they just watched it a little bit longer. That's it. It's like anything else. That's a tough question. Yeah, man. What would you come out to, man? I know everyone has that song when they listen in the car that they pretend if they were a fighter that's them walking out to it for their 12th title defense or for their 3rd division undisputed fight. What would be your song to kind of let everybody know that you belong in the legacy? Right? Stupefied by Disturbed would go hard. Oh shit, you would come out with some rock shit. Nothing wrong with that. I was like a mixed kid in the 90s, so if I came out to rock, it would probably be some Linkin Park. Alright, man, let's get to the main event, man. Alex is coming up. Nothing's gonna be better than that Max Holloway fight. So I'm already kind of coming down. I don't know if this main event's gonna be able to top that. That was crazy. That shit was crazy. Greatest knockout UFC ever. Best second. And still what? I haven't seen one of the best fights of his straight honor, respect, honest vision I ever saw. It was over. Famed by Linkin Park. That's a good one. I bet Ryan will come out rapping. I hope he don't come out rapping, dude. He'll probably come out to a gospel song, really. Actually, what's funny is his dad gave me a Save a Children shirt. Ryan Garcia has a shirt, so I don't know. Maybe I'll wear it fight night. All right, night's almost over, man. Fuck it, I'm putting Street Fighter music on for this. So outside of that, where you guys from? Coyote, Armor Plate, Too Honest. Appreciate you guys just chilling in here, just rocking. There's only a few of us. Not a crazy big stream. I'm sure Saturday's gonna be kind of crazy because we're a boxing channel, obviously. So, what up, B? Ryan's a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that he says. It's kind of fair to say conspiracy theorist. Obviously, some people's gonna say it's true, and so be it. You know, he has access to stuff that I don't. So, Armor Plates, California. Okay. Ryan's gonna come out to a Lady Gaga song. I hope not. What would he come out to? New York, Too Honest? That's what's up. It's funny, I used to live in Cali and New York. I used to live in San Francisco, like a tiny smidgen in LA, and then Brooklyn. So. Poker Face? Alex is the very skilled UFC fighter. I've seen some of his clips. Alex is dope, dude. I got Alex in this fight, you know? And no disrespect to Jamal Hill. Maybe I don't know his potential, right? But Alex is just a beast, bro. Like, he got rocks in his hand. His punches don't even look like they do shit. Nothing scarier than a guy when he throws a punch that looks like it doesn't require much and it just breaks a dude. Like the smallest amount of torque and the most minimal movement possible. And yet the punch is just heavy. So the shortest path, and yet you're landing like that. You don't have to wind that shit up. Like, it's crazy. It feels like you don't even turn his punches that crazy. Oh, dude, look at this stone face, dude. I can't believe they found those like tiki faces or whatever and said it was him. Yeah. This fight has everything in the making for Jamal Hill to be a star, but you know, I just don't think Jamal Hill has had time to fully. I don't either. That's, you know, in UFC, like normally in boxing, you'll get a tune-up fight for some shit like this. Like, why? Like, he's going from an injury into a legitimate tough fight. So, is Leon Edwards and Alex Pereira in the same weight class? No, Leon's smaller. He's significantly smaller. I like Leon Edwards too. I didn't think he was gonna knock out Usman. He was getting dragged for 5 rounds straight until he got that kick in. And then the trilogy fight, he definitely deserves to win that. But if they do clash against the cage, Pereira won't move his head and get caught. I mean, it's kind of hard to see Alex get pressed on the cage. Have you ever seen Alex get pressed on the cage? So you might be right. So, have you seen Al Heyman? He's a ghost? No. But I definitely can safely say that what I know about Al Heyman is that his checks never have bounced. So that's what I've heard is real. And no, I'm not bribed or bought by Al Heyman. I'm just being I seen this YouTuber always praising Leon Edwards for his body. What YouTube channel? Like for his body work? Yo, Leon's nice, dude. Like, It's funny because Nate Diaz was giving Leon Edwards props when I was talking to him yesterday at the press conference. And you know, Nate never gives props to nobody he loses. He was like, I won that fight. Yeah, Jake Paul, I beat him. You know, who else did it? Like, yeah, he's like, Masvidal, you know I won that fight. Like, on paper, you did. Bro, what are you talking about? But he gave Leon a lot of props. He called him a badass. So, does he even go to his events? He used to. I don't think he goes to them really anymore. Jamal Hill doesn't want to take him down too, but we'll see. You get any nerves looking at Jamal Hill? Like he's kind of like moving around a little bit. You think he's a little nervous, or he's in the zone? Cause he's a character. So I saw his Instagram post when he was using the Joker soundbite in the black and white. So that was kind of cool to peep. Mario Rios is V taper. We'll see. Take this headset off for a second. It's like, yeah, we're almost done, man. Got one more fight. If I was on East Coast, man, this shit would be brutal. It's only 10 o'clock. I'm already getting sleepy. But yeah, right now we're getting ready for the first round coming up. They're doing the introductions. I did see something missing in Jamal Hill's face at the weigh-in. Kind of seemed flat, right? I don't know. All this stuff is just kind of conspiracy theories, though, right? Because everyone said like Kayla Harrison had she looked terrible in the weight cut, but she rehydrated well and dominated Holloway, but she was supposed to win that fight. So, making sure I'm glued in here. You only stream on YouTube? Yeah, for right now, you know. I have a side channel. I don't know what to do with it. I might maybe do some fighting games or something on it. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just here doing interviews. And all right, first round. Feels like Jamal Hill knows he's in a brutal fight. He has to. All right. We're all right. First round. Let me get this going. AP1. Nice. Wait, like you already saw it? Like it's done? Don't tell me like that's what happened. Or you're saying Alex Pereira will win. Leg kicks already by Jamal Hill. It's already going to be a kickboxing match. So, both touching gloves, trying to range and get distance. I know nothing about MMA. I just see a lot of pause moments when they are on top of each other. They're in 69 position. What up, Clarissa? Yeah, that's part of the game, right? You know, no, even MMA fans aren't the biggest fans of those, right? Unless a submission happens. But right now, this is probably not going to be a submission kind of fight. I think Hill is going to want to strike and bang with Alex Pereira. So, and Alex is a former kickboxer who's showing that his ability from kickboxing has adapted to MMA. I think Hill is really going to try to load up and land a good, clean lead right hand hook. You know, they're opposite stances, which means that they're going to have to play the battle of the outside foot, you know, and got to watch out for the outside hand because when you turn into the wrong direction, you can walk right into it. You can see it in his eyes. Alex got caught. Hills might win. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Someone threw a pizza in the ring. Oh, my God. I hope. I might be a little behind. I'm just reading the chat, so. You feel like something crazy is going to happen? Because that Justin Gaethje, like Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje, it's just, I'm satisfied for the night. I don't need to watch this fight. I'm cool. Like, that was so satisfying. Hills might win. Yeah. Right now, Alex Pereira is, you know, investing to the body with the lead hand jab. Hills might win. His stomach is bouncing. You're talking about Hills. You know, he's a little bigger guy in the weight. You know, Alex moving up in weight. He didn't just blow up and kind of just put on weight. You know, he looks good. He looks strong. He looks It's probably Alex's natural weight, which is crazy because Israel was fighting a big fucking dude. Do you see Jamal Hill's interview with Matt Evans? No, I haven't. What he's saying? I haven't had a chance to really watch a lot of interviews for this fight week. Was there something to highlight in that? Got a little belly on him. Yeah, to honest. You know, it's and it's always interesting because when you see a fighter like that, you know, DC might be a terrible. Alex Pereira caught Hill, and Hill was on the ground. Ground and pound is done. Damn. Yo, stop. My man just memed him. He just memed him. He just memed him. He literally went up and just hit him with the... What's that dude that always like, this is the way you're supposed to do it? Oh, man, that's embarrassing, bro. Damn, bro. That was a legit good stoppage, yo. I mean, he caught you on your ass and you start ground and pounding. Wow. That shit was embarrassing. Like, not the fight itself, like, you get caught, but... Really, bro? You hit him with the 3 times? Yo, the last time I did a UFC stream, I ended up having to do the bow. So maybe he felt some type of like, all right, motherfuckers be memeing me. It's time for me to start memeing dudes. That was pretty anticlimactic, but damn, he stone face, bro. He just caught him with a clean uppercut, I think, right? Effort. They're gonna show the replay. Was it? Oh shit, he moved the ref to the side. Oh, it was a lead left uppercut. That's what it was. That left hand, dude. He like barely even like, that's crazy. His eyes rolled back and shit, like off of a fucking awkward punch that's... People be clowning MMA dudes saying they ain't got a chin. That was like a weird punch. The first round, Coyote. Like within like the first 2 minutes. First round, yeah. Has anyone ever done an Al Heyman interview? No. Not that I know. Maybe like his first employer when he got his first job. That was, if you count that as an interview. Nate Diaz said him and Conor will be fighting again. Now that's a fight to watch. What up? I am Danny. Yeah, he said that to us at the media scrum yesterday here in Vegas. Alex went damn crazy. You should watch it, bro. Benavidez versus Canelo. Who wins? Don't quote me exactly on this. It's just in the moment. It might change. I might edge Canelo, right? I'll probably edge Canelo. But it's still like a 55-45 kind of fight, so. You already know the YouTube editors are putting together clips of Jamal Hill saying that he was going to KO Pereira Rip. It's probably already done. They just had to put this end of the clip at the end of it. It's probably already out right now. It's probably uploading. Someone's uploading it right now. Which reminds me, I should probably look on social media to see if there's any to make. Bro, that's savage. All right, Armor Plates, good night talking to you. Yeah, I'm going to shut this stuff down pretty soon. It's getting pretty late, you know. But I'll be having some streams, Armor Plates, this week for the Devin Heen and Ryan Garcia, especially Saturday. So if you want to stick around, we'll have a probably way bigger chat, probably less chill, probably a lot more chaotic, because we're more of a boxing channel. So appreciate you stopping by. What a card delivered. Yeah, that was pretty bad. This dude really memed him. Most gangster thing I've seen in a while. Damn, bro. That was a solid performance, man. Alex Pereira definitely starts to belong in that pound for pound like talk. You know what I mean? I think the scary thing is how easy he makes these fights look. And even though he lost to Izzy, I mean, fuck, dude. Do we get Izzy and Alex for the 3rd time in MMA? It's crazy. All right. Well, do a small recap while I get ready to shut this down. Make it an easy, smooth night. I'm gonna do a quick little roll call, recap the night. It was a good card. I know the card got a lot of criticism because the fact that they're good fights, but it didn't get this sexy marquee headline fight that everyone expecting to be like a Conor McGregor or something explosive. But when you look at it, you definitely got your value. You got a lot of great performances. Pereira, Cody Garbrandt, from Bobby Green, Jim Miller, just Andrade was in a close fight. Jalen Turner in an upset loss. Diego Lopez win. Kayla Harrison came to the scene and put on. Aljamain Sterling, not the funnest performance to watch, but shows that he can belong in that division. Yuri in a crazy upset win, put some dog in him. Bo Nickal got some stuff to work on, but did what he's supposed to do. Very anticlimactic Armin win, but a win's a win. One of the best knockouts I've ever seen. Max Holloway, 5th round, last second knockout. Zhang and Yan, which was an explosive, honorable, historic fight between 2 top Chinese fighter females. So, and the meme of the night, Alex Pereira, meming Hill. So, appreciate everyone. You know, I am Danny76, Armor Plate, Coyote, Oscar De La Coca. Yeah, please come Saturday. Clarissa, 2 Annas, B, Danny Drew, Michael Wilborn, 1, Bayside Boxing, Johnny Williams, appreciate the super chat, Space Ghost Perp, Dave Tricks, BJ Freeman, Mr. Quake. Yeah, what a fight. Can't forget Mr. Quake. You've been holding it down. Kind of quiet, but I appreciate you. Witness the hoax. Who am I missing? I'm scrolling up. Amanda Dio. So, y'all, appreciate you guys just being and vibing in this small stream. UFC 300 exceed expectations. I agree. You know, it wasn't the most rowdiest, biggest chat that FightHype's ever had, but I think it was probably one of the most intimate chats, right? Kind of got the vibe, get to know each other. You guys were able to ask questions, and so appreciate your support. You know, without you guys, these chats would be completely boring, empty. I'll be talking to myself in a room. So hopefully you guys build a good community around each other, and we build a nice community when I go live, and you just come in here. All we're doing is just chilling and vibing, right? And get to know each other. And then, like I said, this Saturday is probably gonna be crazy. You know, the chats and everything's gonna start to kind of be flooded with a lot of negativity, hate, competitiveness. So other than that, we're definitely going to have this week busy as hell. So please stay tuned on FightHype. I'll be live this week, especially Saturday night. So if you want to come in, we'll chat. We'll talk about one of the biggest and most monumental fights that have been announced this year, which is going to be Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. So, but once again, I appreciate you guys' support. I'm going to end the stream, and we're out. Thanks.